started.
Alright. So, almost forgot to update you guys. So, um, you guys, probably where the Roll20 got the DMG and Sword Coast Adventures guide. Well, alright, procured it. So, it's in the compendium. Which is odd because I would have thought that they would have had everything from the DMG in there, but probably some stuff from the OGL that they didn't really have the rights to it or something. Weird. So basically everything from the DMG is now available, which includes the Rods of the Pact Keeper, or so.
Yeah, so now that actually
That's
makes sense.
going to be really nice. Yes. So when we last left our band of adventurers, mercenaries, and others, you managed to, well, after a pleasant conversation with Sariel Lathrana, you managed to. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Welcome, Masked. Hello.
Nice.
Also, there's not separate things for potions and the different types of potions, so that's also really nice. Anyway, so like I said, yes, when I last left your group of adventurers, you'd met after making some preparations. You finally met again with Sariel Lang Lathrana, and actually managed to come to us after she explained she set you to the location. Her quote unquote noisy neighbors have been making a lot of apparently has a key artifact that you guys have been hired to look for. That being said, it's the trip there was actually smooth. The whole thing is that the difference was that this area, this basically other world, was entirely foreign to you all. As you would later find out that most of the edible plant life here, not only was it bright and vibrant, which you normally meant that it was poisonous, but it was also incredibly spicy. And as a result, most of the wildlife that did consume the local flora here had a inbuilt resistance towards it. As you made your way across to the little magma flows, you noticed different creatures like fiery serpents and vaguely humanoid forms walking off in the distance and disappearing. As you sort of looked around to find like the gap so you can go in deeper, you you provoke. If I remember correctly, your party did provoke the horde of these burning humanoid creatures. After successfully warding off and the oncoming horde of these things, oncoming pack of these things, you've we ended the session as you guys heard a cry out in Infernal to get back. Session will continue from there. As the fight dies down, you'll hear that. Let's see. What is your individual reactions towards it, Riker? What is Eris's?
Oh god, let me see. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was about to say. Alright. So, his is that if I'm remembering correctly, he basically was already in the process of getting back in the first place. So.
Yes.
So he'll just continue doing so.
Alright. Solvis. Vocal. Oh, he's... Alright. So I guess I'll just move on to Rahamid. So what is Rahamid's reaction upon hearing that? Right, actually, does he understand Infernal?
Let's see. Did I actually take that as one of his languages? Nope, I did not take him from.
You just hear a bunch of guttural screaming, or not guttural, grunt, not grunts. Somebody screaming out in a strange language from behind you. Captain Rosewinter, do you understand Infernal?
I'm checking right now. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It doesn't look like you are.
No, I don't. I need to add more languages because I have an intelligence of a modifier of +4.
Yes.
But I haven't added any extra languages.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's been a while. You definitely should have done that. It's almost as if language, at least in my campaigns, does play a part in certain situations.
I have no way to I've got nothing.
Alright, we'll say Alistair will translate them, and Moose. And finally, Ashana. What is Ashana's reaction towards this call to get back?
Ashana despair. That's strange. I believe there are more coming, but Kansanga encounter their cheating.
Right. As you all prepare for whether they're hostile or friendly. I mean, if they're hostile, they wouldn't tell you to get back, right? They'd probably tell you to get there, to move, or get out. You see several assumedly human men on horseback, riding in with wielding definitely armored for one, wielding a matter each looks like blades and axes and such, shields. Your sort of expected weaponry for for knights. Except for one thing, you do notice they appear to all have some sort of horned helms of sorts. And one of them has a strange iconography of that resembles this. And I just need to pull up my. I just need to pull up the image. I'll put it in for our group chat. Of what appears to be a crimson wing behind a long sword. Each of these individuals ride in, sort of noticing that the threat has been neutralized, and they actually stare at Rahamid, Solithis, Xeris, and Shauna and Rosewinter, at all of you guys, with a combination of confusion and some concern, as Moose will translate, as they're asking, what the hell in the pits are you all?
Just a group of adventurers.
I mean, we could ask the same thing. We can ask you the same thing about you.
No, as the one leading them removes their helmet, as sort of slides off the face guard, you notice that they're not wearing horned helmets. Those are their horns, as you see a man with crimson skin and reptilian-like eyes, and says, "What in the pits are you?" I mean, clearly those are people, as he gestures towards Alistair and Moose, but what in the pits are you?
We're also people. Just a different kind of people.
Who does he point out? Me and who?
Ashana, Captain you,
Everyone that's
Roseminter,
not a tiefling.
Saltis, yeah. And also, especially Rahamid is, let's see here.
Oh, Dragonborn.
Then
I am a jackal.
They just stare at you all in confusion. If you want, I think it's obvious, but if you want, you can roll an insight to see as to what the fuck's going on through their heads.
Puggies. Nope.
15.
Did you say insight?
Yes, insight.
Sorry, yes, but why not?
Yeah. Also, did we get a long rest? Because I still have missing health.
No, not yet. That was the post-fight.
Directly after the combat.
This is why I was asking, because my brain was like, why am I missing health?
Making the
Let's see here. So those who rolled above a 12 can decipher that they're all those names that you call yourself, Dragonborn and such, are they just don't identify it as when Moose and Ulster translate. Or Moose translates, yeah.
Alright.
I got Infernal. I don't need a translator.
Oh yeah, in your case.
So, I guess the way Rahamid could explain it is be like, alright, you know of hellhounds, right?
They just sort of stare between each other in even more confusion. And Moose says, I don't think they have those. What is this place?
Yeah, they're some sort of demon or fiend family type deal of race, but this is indeed strange.
Let's see here. One of the knights. One of the knights, sort of, while on their mount, looks to be some sort of like not deer. This like somewhat like a those those deer-like creatures in Africa. I keep forgetting their name. Gazelles, yes. Well, those gazelles on their horns are like the straight spikes. It's the same with those horses, except it's like on the sides of their head, and it's like jutting outwards.
So that's what their mounts look like.
Yes.
That's interesting. Out of curiosity, because I have beast speech, because being a beast of myself, the mount saying anything of like an interest or like of note?
It appears to be just very confusingly just looking at you. Like this is some sort of new creature, and it doesn't know whether it wants to, because it's a horse, whether it wants to stomp at you to get away from its master, or to run away. As one of the knights, while on horseback, rides up to the person speaking to you, very clearly the commanding officer, sort of whispers something into his ear and asks, "Are you Abishai, wingless Abishai?" Saying to you and pointing to you, Saltis and Zeros.
That being translated, would that be a roll to know what that is, or is that
Religion? Yeah.
Okay, religion. Let's see if Rahamid knows.
Alright.
Can I make the roll?
That's 27.
Well, I don't need to now.
All right, 27 to hit. 27. Saltis, Abishai, it's ringing something. It's in the tip of your tongue. You can't get it, but Rahamid, you recognize the name Abishai. Those are essentially draconic devils.
Like, yeah.
Back home, they were servants of Tiamat.
Hammond will make mention that in common to them, being like they think you're the infernal, like draconic bloodline. That's what it's reference to.
Us. Well, no.
No.
Okay,
No, that we are full draconic blood.
Yes. I will explain to them directly. It is not quite infernal bloodline. It is purely draconic, mostly.
So much like the evanescent one.
Sure.
They sort of stare in confusion. And one of the it's very audibly says, "How can you know that? How can we trust them? They're not good. They may be like one of those other, or some of those other strangers that we encountered. Douse them in holy water. Let's see if they burn." He says, "That's
All right.
fair." He points and do you interrupt him or?
I mean,
No. Then all right. I don't think it'll hurt. No, shouldn't.
So
I can assure
Yeah,
you.
it's just water.
there's some confusion. He looks to his partner, who pulls out a very ornate bottle, and as he gets off his horse, cautiously approaches you all. With a finger on it, in the water, he splashes it on your face.
I'll just blink.
On each of you. And as seeing as that nothing happens, he actually specifically skips out. He skips out Moose and Alistair, as he notices that none of you are screaming out in pain from being splashed, or wincing in pain from being splashed by holy water.
Oh, the pain of the water. Wow. Awful.
By Feronia.
Oh,
By Feronia, this is true. That's.
What?
Follow us. We'll escort you to safety. Looks like you've dealt with those Moloch bells. But they're just going. But if they died anywhere onto the magma flow, then the other packs will be informed. Come on, we don't have much time.
We should go.
yeah.
All right.
We need to leave. Approximately now.
They all escort you back into the bayou, and here they will be leading you. So, unfortunately, for the time being, you will not have control over where you're going, as they'll essentially bring you to town,
We're also
or
not on
assumedly town.
Okay, so can you show us on the map where we're going? So
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be nice.
Almost forgot that. Here we are. As they
So he is here.
travel with you, one of them starts chatting up with Moose. Moose seems like very confused, but continues as one of them, seeing that you solve this understand Infernal, asks you on behalf of your group, as he says, where are you from?
Would I know the name of the planet that we're on?
Yes, Pathros.
Pathros, right.
Pathros.
I also forgot it myself. Probably not where you're from. Pathros.
Pathros. I've never heard of this land.
Explain some things.
Sean will also say no for now. It's kind of far from here.
That makes sense, but Are you here to invade?
No,
No.
we're here to set on a quest, you see. We're traveling.
We're here to collect something and then leave.
You are.
You mean you no harm?
That's obvious as you have other people with you.
Mm.
Not. God. But. It's. Sorry. This entire thing is concerning.
No, it's understandable.
We don't have other people like the rest of you. Some of them certainly share certain features, like you, as he points to, all this, but they always look like us. Well, this is. Do you? What are you all? Dragonborn. I can assume blood of dragon. Looks like
Yes.
the evanescent one. But the rest of you are certain. What in the pits is it? I apologize for my profanity, but what in the pits are jackals?
Essentially, it's a part of the canine folk. These like animals.
Okay, we don't have jackals, but I know what canines are, and you certainly do not. You don't have any spikes growing up, spike protrusions from you.
I understand.
Different canines come in different forms.
Less
Yeah.
usually.
But all of them have some sort of spike, especially on their spines. I mean, how else are you going to scratch those itchy and hard to reach areas, like the lower part of your back?
Dislocating your shoulder. Simple.
That's concerning.
Not really, just they're incredibly flexible.
Right.
I think we established where we come from. Things work differently.
Clearly.
Simple explanation could be what you might find strange, we will find normal, and what we find strange, you would find normal.
Yes,
Difference.
that makes sense. Pitts, apologize for my profanity, but this is. We heard an explosion coming from here. We were scouting, and due to this, in order to prevent any demons or devils or ancestors away. They're not friendly, to say the least, as you might have seen. So we of the Knights of Rogathiel, we paladins and priests of Rogathiel, and servant of the blue one. As he gestures towards one of them, who appears to have noticeably different armor, no assumedly religious iconography on them. It is our duty to ensure that most of all villages of the king are safe.
It's a noble quest.
Yes, I suppose we can agree to that. That is not quite as alien.
It seems like pantheons are different as well.
Pantheons? What do you mean?
Collections of deities.
There's Rogathiel.
Is that it?
Like the pagans. You're very certainly alien. Whether or not you're of this plane is unknown. There's many mysteries we do not understand, especially the nature of the elemental planes.
Indeed.
You don't.
Above game, did he just say this is the elemental planes, essentially?
No.
He doesn't. No, they don't understand the elemental plane.
Oh, okay.
They're guessing that you're from the elemental planes due to well, she's made of
no.
water. She looks like she's partially made of water, and you're
Her
Okay, so
other than her hair flows like it's in water, and she has blue skin.
Hello.
okay.
One
So
of
I was about to say.
the I mean,
Alex.
my father made a deal with a water elemental,
That's
and
not unheard of.
it was strong enough to affect me.
As for which of them we're from, well, we're not from any of the elemental planes, no.
Mm-mm.
It's not
We're
directly.
from we're from an entirely different plane, I
Mm.
assume.
A different material, you will call it.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
literally about to say that before.
Different material. That's.
and even in our
Yeah.
material plane, I'm from a separate plane on top of that.
The Magi will need to hear of this. Will want to hear of this, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. I refuse to allow him to converse with you. I suppose the technical term would be aliens.
Could you perhaps answer just some some notebook questions? Like
Very.
what is the current date?
That also, my apologies, I completely forgot to tell you my name. Then I'm sure that's probably just as important. Yes.
Yes.
Uh, I am a star, but I am a star as a pawn of the house Taran.
What was your name again?
You just
Oh,
maybe
sorry.
have Andy type it out there.
I'll take that out.
Yeah.
I peeked.
Belongs some old house Taran. The rest here are the others here are Nurgle,
Nurgle?
Nurgle, of House Torn.
Mm-hmm.
Shax of House Thernine.
Mm.
And of course Oryx. He is, as far as I know, houseless. I suppose. That being said, I suppose the proper way to address him would be Oryx. And if Nurgle says anything particularly upsetting, that's House Torn to you. That's a House Torn feature. They're known for being seers of sorts, of devastation and death. I suppose the term would be oracles.
Hmm.
Very good to have one on your side, especially
Yes.
when keeping demons at bay. What questions do you have, ma'am? Or rather, Miss. Is it
It's
Miss
just
or Mrs.?
Miss.
Very well.
Just some general understanding, like uh what's the hour what's How long is it from sundown to sun up? What is the current date? Just some very notebook questions for a general understanding of this area.
It is the sixth. It is the sixth ground of the seventh stone.
She just she just nods her head like, okay, yeah, go on.
We separate our days by grounds, as we tend to work them. Stone is usually a cumulative amount of around at most 31 grounds. Usually, although sometimes there are times when it's shorter.
Okay.
So 31 grounds lead into a stone.
Yes.
And
The stones lead
this
into.
is the
Stones lead into a hill. It's currently the 1800th hill.
Okay. So that's how they register time, days, and years.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
Okay. So
how does that relate to our time?
7th month, 6th day, 1418. At least for them.
well, yeah. Well, I think the proper way to ask it is on relation to what he said to what we know of what the actual day year it is from where we are. What's the
It's
difference?
noticeably different. For one, it's not 1418. Then again, if you're in a different world, they may measure time, differently, or rather, they may measure the year itself differently compared to the rest.
Like, how big of a difference between between their years and ours?
In terms of the months to stones, it's relatively the same.
Yeah, year difference.
The difference is significant. This is the current year.
Oh, I get it.
So that is a big difference. Alright, with this knowledge of him mentioning, different years and how they measure
Vian, which is essentially the equivalent of AD.
Okay. As I was saying, could I make a check to discern maybe what realm we are in? With the knowledge that is given at hand, is there enough to go off of?
I'd say make a general intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence?
Can I?
I don't know. You can give if Rosewinter is giving advantage.
I shall give advantage then.
You know
We
what?
roll separately.
I've got 22 int, boys.
22 int.
Oh,
Fucking
Yeah,
Tacticus Arcanum is bullshit, okay?
22 and just sets it like a number.
I can't.
Mohammed, this is very, very foreign. Yeah, sure. The way they count months, days, and years is, certainly almost a 1-to-1 ratio. But this is very, very foreign. It's kind of it almost makes your head hurt a little bit.
Right. So it's more obscure where I've never heard of it or was never taught.
Yes.
That
Solithus.
makes sense.
Yeah, Solithus. It's maybe this is an entirely different world than Cirrus. You think, okay, no, yeah, this is definitely an entirely different world.
Wow, the thing that we already knew.
Yeah. If you sort of process it, the guild has actually claimed to have traveled into another world by entering a dungeon. Same situation you can assume here.
Okay, so we were aware of this much. We were more or less asking, do we know the exact realm or have a hint?
You have no idea. Yeah, this is... Although, Xenos, you could probably assume somewhere near, assuming this world functions in terms of, its the poles, the North Pole, South Pole, equator, this is very close to the equator. Or very... at the very least, it should be.
Okay, so I pull out my pocket watch. What does the time say?
So same. It's same time as when you, or like if you obviously several like a day and almost a half of traveling, but in the past. But it's basically the same.
Yeah.
He then is gonna turn to the one being questioned currently, and then is gonna ask. I just have one question, and that is: does this world work on like North Pole, South Pole? Like, is it that sort of orientation, or?
Yes, assuming that Solstice is translating. Yes, that's how it works. I take it that works in your home as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Then that would likely mean we are somewhere near the equator.
That is true. Closer we go there, closer you go to the equator, the closer you are to the ancestors.
The ancestors. Who would they be?
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
you call them devils, I assume.
I'm bored with something.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, do you have a name for what you call your world, and like what you might call it?
Yes, Xylon. This is our world.
Cylon.
Just typing out the exact writing. Or
Alright.
sorry, yeah.
What's the name of this place?
This specific region is known as the Burning Bayou. Oh, they say.
Bayou.
Okay. So, because I rolled 2 lows and be this obscure, does anyone else want to make a check to see if this, like, to get more of an inkling of what this realm might be?
Maybe try.
That we don't really know of.
Yeah. Alright, if so even,
Yeah. Alright.
this is either recently been, like, this is
Yeah.
more of a recent realm, or this is,
Zeros rolled a nat 20 and got, there's a North and South Pole.
Yeah. But you also know this is definitely nowhere in Pathros at all.
Yes, we're aware.
Yeah,
We have
no.
come to that conclusion
we entered
a while ago.
But yeah, so this is like so obscure that it's just like it's not even known to anyone who researches multiple realms. Like,
Yeah, and an entire tiefling only island doesn't exist. As far as you all know. Good. And running by assumptions of what he's saying to you all, yeah.
alright, so alright, cool. So we got a name for this realm, so we can at least report it back to them. So if this place is still in existence, all right. So you made mention. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll have someone translate it and ask them. Like you made mention of great noise disturbance when you came and found us. Have you been having like loud noise happen of late?
Yes, but it's not out of season at this point of the stones. It's usually quite, how to put this. That's usually when the demons tend to be more active. They start hunting and killing each other and anything in between.
So it's the demons that is causing all the noise then.
Yes, as you hear loud pops off in the distance coming from here. That's
Right,
one of the larger ones.
right in the middle of the lava fields. Great.
There you can expect many more. There have been rumors that there are some intelligent enough to deal with people, but that is just as far as we know. That being said, do you have any other questions?
None that can be asked right now. More, I have maybe a small request once we reach your town or home or whatever you want to call it.
I should also inform you where exactly we're going. He sort of reaches over into one of the saddlebags and produces what looks to be a map. As he rolls it, you basically see the entire layout of this place, for this region, called the Burning Bayou. And as he points to a specific location here. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to draw it out, but basically, a small drawing of a small town with several happy and horned faces, sort of smiling and waving, as he says, "We're going here. It's trading out. It's the only town or village or city within miles of this place. It's also our home, as for the time being.
I see.
It's until we receive reinforcement from the king." Let me just write up the name. Yes. Caravanel's Folly. If you require any food, food or water, they have that as well. I don't know if. I take it you all sleep, yes?
Yes.
Spent, yes.
Okay. The dragons of our world do not. So, as a result, I felt the need to ask.
Full of dragons, it's differences.
Since where the comparisons begin and end. That being said, it's a few days away. It's only a few days away, and as long as the wildlife is usually quite reserved and quiet at these times, especially in this region, with the demons being far more active and violent. So we shouldn't encounter any sort of unfriendly wildlife. If we do, Shax can calm them. He's a speaker of sorts with the beasts. Do you have any further questions?
Actually, I have one question.
Yes,
Oh,
one.
So I was wondering, do you have religion here?
Yes, we do. Obviously, we worship Rogathiel, the general of vengeance. He's a patron day. Of course, there's Veronica, the goddess of the purple flame.
May you repeat your name?
Hmm?
May you repeat your name, please?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm just saying I'm not getting all the names.
Let me just type it in. And the only flame, let me just put it in here. And of course, that you'll rarely find servants of him. There is a less beautiful god, dark god, arrogant.
Oh, I see.
Or not, I'm sorry. Yeah. My God. There's this. The god of destruction. The god of the pits. There's that.
These all the names of the
Yeah, these are on the
gods.
what's
Or god.
Yeah, deities.
Tell me,
was this?
there are other.
Is this the this is the god destruction. Yes.
God of destruction, father
Yeah.
of the pits. Raphael, he is the son of Feronia and Dis. He is a flawed god, but due to his inferno and due to his pit and godly nature being mixed, but he chooses to maintain. He chooses as much as he can to maintain his good actions, the discipline through. Oh,
I see.
he's proof that despite our connection to the land, controlled by Dis, that we are not beholden to become like them. Maintain our should we maintain our discipline, our allegiance to him and his mother, Feronia. So, gods of fertility and fire. Very generally good among the goddess. Though there are those who wish to taint our good message of protection and fertility to focusing on the destruction aspect of fire. This he's a tricky father in the pits. He's the reason why our lands are dangerous. When Rogathiel left the underworld, he was displeased and lashed out on our realm. As a result, you'll find many of those magma flows, releasing dozens, if not hundreds of demons, devils, and other such fiends. There are those who hate Rogathiel, not without reason, for if he had not left the pit, the underworld, then we would not be suffering from such an affliction in our lands. But he has taken his responsibility, and he teaches, and he protects the innocent. Do you have such deities in your lands?
Oh yes,
A fiend of underworld and celestial a lineage.
yes we do.
Religion check to see if you know for certain.
Yeah, if this is private talk where you're not actually translating, then I can't make my input, I guess.
I could translate
Well,
for
you
you.
can. Assuming
I didn't know if it was being involved in like conversation. That's why
I was speaking in he was speaking in Infernal, so
it appears to be their language, so to speak.
yeah. So I can translate if you want to make a religion check.
So for the sake of brevity, Orhama will make mention of Anubis and just go into great detail of what he does.
We simply know God of Death that known as the Reaper. He oversees the balance between life and death. Those who worship him, they tend to the graves of the dead and the fallen. Or they are in no way aligned with the eternal battle between Rogothiel and Dis.
I see. Yeah, we do have celestials and where we come from. We have deities, such as that.
Any deities of such mixed heritage, of underworld and divine nature. You can make a religion check. Actually, no, you don't need to make a religion check. You outright know that is, they do not exist. They essentially that's about the equivalent of here. That's basically the equivalent of in our world of hearing a cat and dog hybrid. Asking, do you have any cat dog hybrids in your world?
Yeah, we don't have
We have cat girls.
combinations. We don't have to have combinations. We have
Feline women. That's
interactions.
interesting.
But
I'm kidding. Anyways, sorry. That's odd.
we have interactions. We have relationships between the two, but we do not have a formal being of the two.
It's interesting. We've always had that, but nevertheless. Looks like it's getting a bit late. We should call it. We should rest. You can all we'll keep, the rest of us will keep watch. Except for Oryx. Oryx is, he's a troubled man, but not without reason. If you wish to know more of these lands from someone who is not I, feel free to speak with him.
Alright.
He gestures for the rest as he informs the rest to, essentially, because it's getting dark, prepare to set up camp for the night.
After we're done setting up camp, there's one thing I want to ask them about the flora and the fauna, where the everything here is spicy, and while things work differently, like what is considered poisonous here?
It's considered poisonous in many fungal things from that tend to kill. Anything that is generally not very vibrant, its colors spring and light, but generally poisonous. Except for the trees, those are fine. Not to eat unless you eat trees. Do you eat trees? Alistair raises hands it says he does. Chris Peter. That's okay. Thanks.
I can barely understand. You are so muffled.
Oh, sorry. How is this?
I was gonna say something earlier, giving me the names of the gods, but
Sorry. What was your question? What was the Sean's question? Sorry, what was your question then? Sorry.
I was just making sure I got all the.
So it's like we thought. The more ordinary it looks, the more dangerous it is, and don't eat the tree, I guess.
The trees are not shouldn't be poisonous. Yes, those are all the gods. The Reaper simply knows that because of the balance between life and death.
Yeah, so they have a very similar view of the Grim Reaper essentially. So
just making sure I got it.
It appears that it's at least a small comfort is that no matter where you are, death is always the same.
Yep.
It's absolute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sure I got all the gods.
So, do you have any other questions? Does Rose Winter have any questions or any further questions?
No, not currently.
Alright.
Personally,
There are
yeah. Like personally, I got nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, I have a few questions, but I'll wait till later.
Yeah,
Be nice.
wait.
Well, he did say that if he wishes to speak to anyone, Oriax is available.
I'll do my meditation down tucked in after.
Alright.
Muhammad literally just stays away because he does not need to sleep. He can just literally read a book while he's staying on watch with them, I guess. Like,
You actually notice that Oriax doesn't appear to sleep either, but he should also be flipping through a book.
yeah. I also just remember that I can ritual class copy language. I don't remember if I did that last session or not, but I was like,
You did. Sorry, you would have understood everything.
yeah,
You just can't.
yeah. I just didn't recall. I was like, that's why my brain was like, that's a thing I can do, and I just forgot that if I'd procced it or not.
It's fine.
But, yeah.
So, over the course of the night, while everyone's setting up camp, one of the knights, Nurgle, decides to cook for you all. Asks if you have any sort of preference for any berries or any sort of porridges or anything of the sort.
Since I don't know much about this realm's flora and fauna, I'll take what I can get. No preference.
Rose Winter?
Not entirely. Is it going to be hot? We picked a hot plant earlier.
Ask you what do you? I mean, it's going to be a warm meal.
Well, spicy. We found some edible food, and it was like everything was spicy.
Just narrow the size and ask what
Spicy,
is
yeah,
spicy.
spicy from our perspective. Food, like,
Do you mean like it burns your like it actually sets your mouth on fire?
like the sensation, but not literally. Well, I guess in some cases it's going to be literal if it's spicy enough.
Understandable. Does Muhammad have any? Does Muhammad also
mentioned that he
be?
does not need to eat; he just needs water.
Oh, so you're like Oreo.
Yeah, it is a beneficial boon from being a servant of
There.
Anubis.
Talk to bearer or
What'd you say, Andy?
oh yes, have to bear like him.
Yes, I am a warlock. Is what it's called where I'm from.
And if the captain's to be trusted, servant of a god of death from your world.
Yes, actually.
They don't have gods of death. They just have death itself. But still, good to know. So, does Solus have any preferences?
For
Or
what?
do you just want to leave? They should know that they shouldn't serve you.
Not particularly.
Like adding hours.
As long as it's dead and not raw. I can't eat poisonous things. Shocker.
He basically just outright says, "What do you mean by not dead? Those are often the most delicious."
Don't worry about it.
Well, similar to my last one, I don't know the flora and fauna, so I'm not sure what I can or can't eat.
They just started kind of confused, like, what do they mean by dead? But as they look to you, Zerus, as Nurgle looks to you, Zerus. And that's the same question. Anything you should be aware that he could serve you, allergies?
I haven't really been here for long, so I can't really say if I'm allergic to anything here.
Alright. We'll try to go with the simple dish. He's not a master chef, but he can whip a very good meal. He asks if he hopes that you will enjoy Earth Shakers. He'll essentially start cooking. Though with a passive, who has a passive perception of 12 or above? Aside from Sean, who is a 12.
Yeah.
Me.
Nope.
I
17.
have low wisdom, so that's a big old nope for me.
Same.
So that everyone who has
But
above
one has
12 or above passive perception would notice he appears to pull out a small jar of insects inside of it, and just pours it all into a large pot.
What's
And
the passive needed?
12.
Higher.
Yeah, I'm
A
good.
12 or higher?
Yes.
I'm good.
Yeah, I have a passive of 19.
So you can see he's tossing in a bunch of. From your perspective, a lot of cockroaches into a cauldron. As he then just reaches into his pack and pours in some sort of vial of something else. And you hear, with your passive perceptions, you'd hear like some small chirrings and squeals coming from inside the cauldron. He also then pulls out from what looks like a hip flask something. He just shrugs and opens it up and pours it in, hearing more squeals. As he brings it to all of you, you see it looks like some very clearly paralyzed purple and bluish cockroaches. Dig in, he says.
Thank you for the meal.
Right. So.
Also, can I make a nature check to see if this is edible?
Oh yeah, sure. Nature. Go ahead. Natural 20. Yeah, I mean, it's really weird they're having you eat them live, but I mean, you could kill them if you before you eat them beforehand.
I'm gonna.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, I think the hot dogs are done.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill them before I eat them.
All right.
Then just growing around in my mouth.
Yeah.
The other knights sort of look at you all odd as you kill them before you eat them, except for especially with Moose and especially oddly at Moose and Alistair, as they ask what you're doing.
We don't like to eat live things.
Bro, are you sort of, is it a religious preference or?
No.
More like a common occurrence from the plane they come from, or where we come from. Normally, you kill food before you eat it. You kill it.
We kill. Mm-hmm.
Well, how else are you supposed to taste their suffering?
We don't take. Where we're from, we don't taste suffering.
We just taste flavor.
Yeah, we can't exactly taste suffering either way, in fact.
And
At least not that I'm aware of.
not even fear?
No.
No.
They're concepts that are emotions, but we don't taste them.
Yeah, they exist, but we can't exactly taste them, unfortunately.
Actually, Alistair was like, not even you guys? Which Moose says, yeah, that's a really, I ate a cockroach once when I was really desperate, but they just, that's, well, I'm sorry you had to eat someone's genitalia. As Moose just blushes a bit, even though it's an insect back home. As they basically explain that their people are able to, he gestures towards Alistair and Moose, like, they should be be able to taste, well, their suffering if they're of infernal lineage. It's not an uncommon thing. It's an entire, thing.
Fear.
Understand.
They can find out if they.
Is that true? Like from our world, like how
Make a history check, actually, or history or nature check, whichever you prefer.
Hold
I'll make a history check because Rahaman's been around long enough. He does eat like a canine every now and then, so.
I mean, I can also make a history check.
on. History or what?
History or nature.
I'll
DC
do
for
a
it
nature.
is relatively high, but not impossible.
You know what?
25.
YOLO.
History.
I'll do a nature.
All right.
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, it is true. Except for Zeus, you're not sure, but everyone else, yeah, that's the case. I mean, it was outlawed because it was viewed as inhumane and also quite monstrous. I mean, tasting and enjoying the taste of another creature's suffering, that is certainly devilish or demonic in nature.
Or animalistic.
Yeah. Or not even animalistic. It's just downright monstrous. Like,
That's inhumane. That's inhumane. To taste suffering is inhumane.
And here's the thing: no other race except for tieflings or anyone with a sort of fiendish bloodline can actually taste them. No one who does not have a fiendish bloodline can taste it. Taste quote unquote suffering or fear. Only those with fiendish bloodline can actually has it. Those with fiendish bloodline are the only ones who can actually taste fear and all those negative emotions. For them, it's essentially the equivalent of a 5-star meal.
Okay.
Possible to toss out, to throw away.
Yeah, well, that's a specific thing with a specific bloodline. Do these people know they're called tieflings? Like, I don't want to tell them that it's infernal bloodline.
Well, they acknowledge that they are of infernal bloodline. They don't.
So make mention that infernal bloodline or those
infernal people.
Yeah.
That's something with the infernal bloodline. Actually, leaders, the nobles and the lawmakers, outlawed that sort of thing as it was seen as inhumane.
They just sort of look at each other, and one of them's very audibly scoffs. What's so wrong about having empathy for the last emotion of a creature before you eat it? It seems far more inhumane to not feel it, not experience it with them.
A lot of people in our world are uncomfortable seeing
it. Actually, it's the quite opposite of how we view it. It's inhumane to relish in the suffering.
The shark sort of chimes in and says that it seems very odd, but if that's your own personal preference, then you're not going to judge. But, you're not beholden to those laws here. If you want to try that yourself, go right on ahead. As he was just we'll look at the curious and ask if your guys are okay with her trying them alive.
I mean,
You're your own person.
You're your own person, basically. Only like Moose and who the other Alistair. They're the only ones that would be able to taste the suffering.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately up to them.
I'm not going to call it for Alistair, so we'll just say he doesn't. But Moose certainly will, as he's very curious about this. He just shovels one into her mouth. You see her eyes light up and go wide. Oh my god, this is so good!
Oh no, we've created a monster.
She just shovels in more and more paralyzed insects into her mouth.
Huh. I think I understand why they made that illegal.
You don't know, this is really fucking good. She just continues chowing down on it.
And also the enjoyment that
It's almost as good as the
inhumane of it.
as Mr. Trennion's actual meals when he used to visit me into his house. So good, and she'll just continue having a treat, so to speak.
Uh-huh. Let's hope it stays as a treat.
Yeah.
It's the perfect food paradox. Now everything else isn't going to compare. And now she's going to realize how easy it is to get that perfect food now. And she's just going to continue devolving until she's snacking on live people.
Okay, here's the other alternative instead of going to the dark side there. She can find that this taste is not to her liking and completely repulses from it.
She's practically do you not hear her? She's practically orgasming.
It's just like one of the nice pills really slow down. She does choking before actually so actually it does start choking.
I'll just look at him and just like as I'm looking back at Moose, just like look back at him and like as she's coughing out like, oh yeah, she's really enjoying it.
One of the knights says, it's fine to enjoy something your inner based desires and the state with love and things like that, but don't let it, blind you. You have to have some restraint. That's what Gothiel teaches. Enjoy your desires, don't lose yourself in.
Also, above game was Moose being like sympathizing with him and just playing along because like that's what I was getting from like the way she was saying it too. Like, I was.
Oh no!
She's not playing along. She's legitimately enjoying the meal.
She's legitimately enjoying the taste of suffering.
That could just be the taste
fear.
of insects. Literally.
She did tell them before eating them. She did say this tastes way better. I probably should have mentioned she would mention this tastes way better.
Yeah, she's enjoying.
To be super clear, because I think there's missing gaps. Like she enjoys them while eating them alive, or eating them while they're before like.
While they're alive, yeah.
She enjoys. She's enjoying the taste of suffering and fear.
Yeah.
Tieflings, unless you're sort of fiendish wolfline, are the only ones capable of actually tasting those emotions from small things they eat.
So it could be just a tiefling inherent thing where they just like it's an innate to enjoy.
Fiendish heritage thing. So yeah. But doesn't necessarily make it make them evil. It's just different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's definitely enjoying this a little too much.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not.
Yeah, but here's
I'm not gonna.
What I'm assuming freaking Alistair is probably having the same thing unless he killed them before eating them.
Oh, he's not. Well, he's not because he's a player character, and that would be way too much influence.
Decision for him.
Thank you. Way too big of a decision for someone else to make for a character.
Do you really see Armor being like, why not?
He might. He fucking might.
But he also might say, no, fuck that. And it's that indecision that we can't.
Yeah, that's fair, but like, So those are the only two tieflings in the party, which is an NPC and then the player. So that's it is
Very
what it is,
correct.
but you're looking
Yeah.
way into much of the dark side of being like, oh, she's definitely gonna grow addicted to this to the point where she might eat someone's heart
Because she
out.
might.
Because she might. It's a.
Because
Alright,
she's
take a
untitled.
look at Moose, and then take a look at yourself and be like, what the fuck am I thinking?
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
you'll-
Because she's unpackable.
Just because.
The knights do mention that
This
there are
neat
some
little fake
people.
concept called people changing.
Yeah.
That
Corruption
is
is
true.
a thing.
He does mention that. The knights do mention, or what Balom mentions that there are people, common folk generally don't, who don't worship, or they acknowledge and they respect him, but they don't actively worship Rogathiel. They generally eat the fruits of the land and they cook any sort of beasts they have. It's just where they're from, it's completely open and allowed. So and there's no real stuff
Yeah.
against it. As long as you have a strain, it's like with alcohol. You could lose yourself in it very, very easily, or any other drug.
Yeah, so
It's the perfect. My issue, like, I'm not gonna stop her. She's free to do whatever. But this is by definition the perfect food paradox.
okay. Yeah, that concern I could have Muhammad permanently keep an eye after he leaves the party until.
100%. Like we're keeping. I'm gonna keep a closer eye on her now.
Yeah,
But
I personally see her as being too innocent to be corrupted this easily. Like seriously.
That's what they did to it. She actually asked how they prepared it. Made it so good. The person who was cooking shots mentioned that he really didn't do much. He just applied some paralytics, or some edible paralytics to it, and edible paralytics to the skin-based paralytics to them, or at least a low enough dosage so that way it doesn't paralyze you yourself, the person eating it, as well as some small spices here and there, so like some paprika.
she, right? She's enjoying the taste of suffering. Like I understand what.
Anyway,
Let me just finish my thought. The perfect food paradox explicitly says that when you enjoy the perfect food, nothing else is going to compare to that perfect food. And because this taste is so easy to come by, she's going to do the serial killer thing, where she starts out small. A bug here and there.
Alright. Could it be fair that like at this point would it be like on track to see if she falls into this, or if are we gonna just try to steer away from this? Because apparently it's just apparently we're delving too much into she's gonna go dark side, she's gonna go fucking Anakin.
If I may finish what I was about to say, is she asked, do they feel anything? And they just, oh, hell yeah, they feel every single thing. In fact, the peril. They have
There it is! There it is!
She just stares at me. Okay, you're joking, right? She asked, you're joking, right? No, you asked. I'm telling you that it hurts a lot more for them now. And she just stares at the food, sort of does a one last bite, and pushes the plate away, and turns to you, Hajime, and says, "Hey, do you have one of those edible plants?"
I need to burn that
Like,
taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's completely fine for her, but nevertheless. It's like, oh god, it's hurting them more? It gotta be more
Told
simple.
you she was too innocent for this.
Yeah, especially upon hearing that paralytics. Actually, he asked if you guys are interested.
Is a fickle thing.
Yeah. She asked if you guys are interested in these sort of paralytics. Like, he can set up a proper higher dosage if you want.
I raise my
toxin sounds interesting.
I raise my hands. I dabble in venoms, poisons, and toxins myself.
Have you heard of gout blood?
Have I?
blood. Yeah, you've not. This is certainly your first time hearing of this. It might stick to this world.
She shakes her head. No? Have you heard of Pufferfish Neurotoxin?
What's a pufferfish?
Oh. It's these aquatic sea creatures that have a venom sac in them. The sac is a strong venom that attacks your brain and your coordination, and it's a neurotoxin. Your neural capabilities taps her head a little.
He asks if they explode if they know they're about to die.
She does the air quotes. Technically, they inflate as a danger response.
But they don't
And
explode.
Well, if you
Uh,
if you poke them with the needle.
well, they have an air bladder that when they suck in water, it juts out their spines. They have sharp kind of spine appendages all around them.
That's odd.
That
Says
when a creature attempts to bite them when they're inflated like this, they get a mouthful of this venom.
That's really interesting. Never heard of it though. But
She
some poison that make some Gauss blood. Essentially, it'll not only give your target the poison condition, but it'll also give them disadvantage on any physical-based constitution or physical-based saving throw, or only all physical and mental-based saving throws while under the effect of the poison condition from this poison.
that's neat. She hands him a vial of the pufferfish neurotoxin. What this will do completely paralyzes them. They can see and hear everything that's happening around them, but it's kind of in a slow motion. They don't feel more pain or less pain, but they see everything that's happening to them. They can't move or respond because of it.
Oh, that'll be really good. Are these pufferfish sort of plant as well?
It is a aquatic life form, also known as fish.
She reaches into her.
For a rating day, he'll give you a single vial of this poison known as Gauss blood.
She poison for a poison. I'll add that to my inventory.
And he'll give you, and essentially explain that he'll also give you the recipe with the completely plant-based poison. So here it is.
She reaches into her bag of holding, and pulls out a pufferfish corpse that's like frozen.
Yeah. So they know what the creature looks like.
This has the toxin gland still inside of it, and she just kind of points to where it is and shows them how to cut it out.
He'll appreciate it, and he'll explain to you how Gauss blood is made. So I'm just writing it out.
I'll remove a pufferfish corpse from my inventory. Bag of holding, one of the most valuable resources to have.
Yep. Sinner's Tears, which are sort of room. 3 parts Innocence Redeemed, and 1 part Obsidian Echo. If you manage to find it and bring it to him to confirm it, you could probably grow this where you're from.
So these sort of things, I have no clue what they are.
He'll give you a description. The Cinder's Tears, it's a sort of grayish, blackish mushroom with sort of like a silver ring around the center, around the exterior. Innocence Redeemed is actually a poisonous berry. It has a sort of greenish, brackish, brownish sort of spot with green. It's greenish with brown spots. And Obsidian Echo is just a pure black. Well, the way he describes it, it kind of sounds like an apple.
She nods and writes down the physical description of everything.
Yeah. And it says that they're relatively hardy plants, so if you ever have a place to plant them, kind of like if you have them vanilla, they're very hardy plants, much like vanilla.
So they'll grow just about anywhere.
Yeah, he asked if you, of course, conversation. You confirm that vanilla exists in where you're from and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And while this conversation is happening, you feel like a sort of pat on your shoulder. Muhammad.
Yep.
He starts to he'll opening up the book and looking at it. He quickly does several calculations and utters a phrase under his breath. As very clearly, almost in common, he asks. He says that the others have told him that you are another pact bearer.
Do we have buns, or are we using bread?
Yeah, Muhammad will confirm and be like, yes, I'm a pact bearer. I guess in-game explain that he has a pact of the blade, but also a pact of the skull, as
If you're a high, or you're a high roller, essentially, if you have all the boons, all the bargain feats.
He'll explain that he's learned how to do lesser and grand bargains.
A grand bargain.
He has not done the grand bargain yet.
No, it's not. You're understanding this, and he'll start asking you about your patron, and he'll explain about his patron. Essentially, according to the description, it sounds like a very, very big blue orca that exists in the oceans of this land. It is very. It's actually friendly, but because of its massive size and generally more intimidating demeanor, it's not all that. A lot of people are scared of it. It's reasonable during the explanation he gave you. Big, intimidating. That being said, no, just talk to you and ask you about your patron. He explained his patron. Conversation continues. Solomons and Shauna. Sorry, scratch that. Actually, yeah, first Shauna. Move actually, before we go into that, Duke, I'm just going to temporarily. There we go. Never mind. Shauna, Moose actually approaches you and asks to speak with you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll open the conversation.
She basically asks you if how to purpose. She had enjoying eating those things since they were suffering so much.
Well, it's a question.
Just there we go. Yeah, he asks you if she asks you if he's a bad person for enjoying eating those things while they were alive and suffering more than normal.
Well, you shouldn't be ashamed. It's part of your bloodline.
Yeah, but she really enjoyed it.
It's,
You know,
it's,
she knows how the back home treats her, so she's wondering if they'll, you
well,
know.
she won't be mad at you, so.
And what if someone else hears of this, like back home? What do you think will happen to it?
Well, back home, it's like you just don't have to do it back home. You have an excuse now. You're in a completely different plane than back home. The same rules don't apply here.
Yeah, but basically she explains that for most of her life, she's been told that the whole standard thing with people, she's devils, or when interconnected to devils or such, evil, but albeit lawful creatures. She's wondering if, in the end, after she comes back, she'll be the same.
I'm sure it'll be the same. That's just it was just a matter of your bloodline.
Yeah.
It's not a life-changing event. I'm just enjoying some food.
Sure. She'll agree and she'll call it for the night. And thank you for hearing her out. She says that she's probably overreacting. With something like this, that's still really new. She's unsure.
Well, it's understandable. You can always come to me if you have any questions.
Meanwhile, Solidus.
Hmm.
Let's see here. My notes disappear for some reason. There we go. So, I will start with you, and it tells you that fact, not facts.
What?
Sorry. Alistair approaches you and asks and tells you that Balam wants to speak with you more in depth about something real quick.
Balam?
Yeah, the captain.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah. Essentially, he's currently about to. He looks like he's just getting his equipment.
Understand
Hello?
you saying words,
You get
but
really-
it's just
Getting really muffled, Andy.
He's getting his. I need a replacement mic eventually, but eventually you see him currently getting his gear. It's somewhat dented. Not somewhat dented.
Mhm.
It's somewhat dirty. So he's currently just polishing it. And thanks you for giving some time to speak with him. See if what your intentions are once you come back, or once you return back to your home.
Once we return back.
Yeah, do you plan to tell anyone how you came here, or?
I feel due to the method of employment, I'm not sure I'm allowed to. Well, there's some that I would have to, probably, but for the most part, no.
He asks you since it's very. He asks you since it's very obvious that, those of infernal bloodline exist in your world. He asks you how they are treated.
Well, in the specific region I'm from, not good. Elsewhere, they're mostly treated the same as most anyone else.
Not treated well. How? Are they all slaves or killed on sight? Or
they're mostly just looked down upon. They're not killed on sight. I don't think. They suffer a few discriminations. Nothing incredibly severe, but fairly major. Such as, well, how to put this. People don't like them. I'm not sure why entirely. Oh, it struck me as well.
Especially with the whole concept of tasting pain and suffering and all that, and enjoying it, it would probably be very foreign and certainly very terrifying for normal people. As long as they're not getting involved with anything like any of the romantic decisions between them, then that's fine. Especially not socially. Yeah, so he asks you if you have what is, or actually, if he tries, if you come back and you tell them, how do you think the people in your world will react to another world filled with tieflings, or not tieflings, but infernally touched?
Mixed. Some would likely attempt to flock to it. Others might want it gotten rid of. Others just seal it away, whatnot.
Yeah.
Wildly varying effects, wildly varying cultures, many different interests.
He sort of sighs a little bit. He's actually expecting you to say like, "Oh, they're going to like try to invade and try to conquer them."
They might,
because
some might.
Well, he hopes that if that ever occurs, he hopes he never has to meet you on the front lines, or anyone from your party, since you're able to handle those Balak bells with relative ease.
I don't plan on coming back here.
He thanks you for your time, but before leaving, he asks you one last question. Why do you smell so much like she who births?
She who births. My notes.
Do you want him to elaborate?
Fertile.
That's the fertile flame.
Yeah.
Yes.
She also got you.
Why do you smell so much like her?
That also?
No,
okay.
No, that's fertile flame, yeah. No,
okay.
She's not referred to as she who. Two some completely separate entities.
Oh, she a person.
Fertile flame? Is she conic?
Why do you smell like the queen, the mother of dragons?
I am partly dragon, as is the race that I and the other one, my brother, are.
That's understandable. He just thought he interrupted himself like, no, that doesn't make sense. She's been unresponsive for years.
I don't have a descendant of her specifically. It's different.
And even then, you're not beholden to any of her behavior. So, and just like he's not beholden to the behavior of his ancestors.
The reason I smell similar is probably for the same reasons that we are speaking the same language currently. There are some similarities between worlds.
Fair. He'll shake your hand and say that if obviously the normal common people cannot know that there's another world with different people, with other tieflings, so
yes.
He wants to make sure that you and your friends have your story straight. As essentially you're going to be taking the role of a banished Abishai, wingless Abishai. You and your brother will take the role of a banished wingless or Abishai. and the rest are simply, well, hornless tieflings, and indicate Muhammad, or not tieflings, infernally touched, and Muhammad, a sentient and heavily mutated canine.
I mean, your town.
From yes, in our his town, in Terlinel's Folly. Because, suffice to say, he wants to make sure that you guys attract as little attention as possible.
I understand. I can.
Your moose friend and Alistair are just faraway travelers from or born of the road, houseless essentially. Because while he's barely able to keep up with, he's understanding the concept of you guys being from this world, not being in this world. He's afraid that any other lawkeepers, not of the church, will attempt to take you prisoner and dissect you, and not in a social, not by a. He means more literal, not in a social aspect.
Noted.
Yeah. Also, and with that, may Regathiel steady your hand and all that, and he'll hand you a small book of holy text. As he'll hand you essentially a holy text of Regathiel and their general religious practices. If you were to open it up, on the first page you'd see scrolled in Infernal, just for social or religious, just for religious aspects, or not religious aspects, just to keep the story straight or more believable.
All right.
No, let's see.
Going to do the memory. I'm just gonna read the whole fucking thing, as much as I can.
And you can share with others, etc. But yeah. So as night comes, you all rest and wake up in the morning.
By sending the person, what's her name? Before sleep.
You mean
before?
Zariel? Zariel or?
No, not Zariel.
No, sorry.
Marie.
S-A.
No, Marie.
Right.
That lady. The slave, And
yeah,
I signed the same one twice. I'm not dead yet.
Roll d20. Actually, I'm the one who needs to roll the d20. So. All right.
I'm not dead yet. Do please respond, so I know that you've gotten this message.
You get a response. A few moments pass. It says, "It's late. Thanks for letting me know you're alive. Be safe. Good night."
I should have asked how long had it been. I'm going to immediately send another. How long had it been since I left for this place?
It's been almost 2 days now.
Not much. How much time dilation? Sure, there's a little bit. Okay.
Looks like about the same time it would take that you guys have been out.
All right.
It's a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of your guys' time.
Okay. That is good. Good to know. I don't have to do it every fucking night. Excellent. That's all.
Huh? And Alex?
I was about to say, when there's about 2 hours before everyone would wake up, make sure that everyone's properly death-ported and just short rests, and make sure that, I have all my cells back by the time morning fully was around.
All right.
Morning.
All right. Right, and also, forget, so basically, before I forget, little something about the world. There's only one king in the entire known world. Basically, what Oryx is telling you. In passing, he is a knight. Is actually a paladin of Regathiel, who has taken the oath of vengeance and is the most powerful person in the world, essentially. If you want, you can make a straight intelligence. Actually, no, you know what an oath of vengeance paladin is. The thing that talks to you is that he's been a king for about 60 odd years. And you know that no vengeance paladin lives past. Considering he started when he was 24, he became king when he was 24. No one makes it past 6 years after taking that oath. It's generally considered like a suicide oath. I'll type up the name as well before I forget. The king. Modian Markul, or MM for King M for short. And alright, nothing happens in your guys' watch. Or not your guys' watch. Nothing happens in the night. And let's see here. The Oryx does in the morning as you guys are like getting everything ready. You notice Oryx is talking to each of the knights a bit like far more emotionally. Oh, give me a moment. Sorry. Sorry.
Bag.
A lot of the background noise there was making it difficult to communicate.
How I've been talking this entire time.
Sorry.
I was asking. Did you say 60 years?
60.
Yes, he's been serving as king for 60 years of the world, or the known world rather. Which, as a paladin of vengeance, again, like I said, no one lives past 6 years of service under that oath.
Right. So he's been 60 hills then.
Yep, 60 hills.
Which is a weird time scale.
I'm just giving you like the translation, so that way it isn't too confusing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to know, I guess.
Right. And as Oryx is currently conversing with the rest, they like respond in kind. They look a little bit annoyed, at which Oryx just raises his hands up and rushes back to and just walks angrily back to you guys and tells you that unfortunately we're all going to be continuing to walk to Terminal's Folly.
Well, something happened?
He elaborates. Due to his connection to his patron, he is able to teleport. Let's see here. Sorry, one moment. This gosh darn thing is being a pain. due to his pact with his patron, his patron has granted him the ability to teleport let's see, how many people again? Let me just check here.
What's the spell you trying to look at?
No,
Okay. Our ability. Yeah.
yes, here it is.
It's not like it won't take us long to get there because we're traveling by carriage, if I'm remembering.
You can teleport 5 people, including himself, himself and 5 people within 1 mile of a body of water. However, Balam does not like the fact that A, it's only him and 5 people, and B, general distrust over his patron. As big blue, it's big, scary, like orca, certainly very intimidating.
Understandable.
They're like traveling on foot.
Yeah. Even though he's been trying to get him to accept this form of transportation for everyone because all he needs is an hour and he can just do it again. And that's it. But Captain does not see it that way. He sees it as a bit. He doesn't trust his magics. Even though it would be much faster and much easier, and certainly safer if he were to do it this way than just traversing through the forest.
I mean, we've just been summoning horses.
Well, has your patron intervened in the magics much?
No, this is just he generally has a solid relationship with his patron. The problem is that he's technically under probation by these paladins and clerics, as people whose warlocks like him essentially are not exactly viewed in the best light, but they're not outright hated. People just don't trust him that much.
So it basically on probation from using his magic?
Yes, or at least anything beyond being able to create the occasional tentacle to assist in combat, or just cast spells. That specific ability of being able to traverse entire lands and reappear near a body of water, well, yeah. Which would be really useful because, again, Bayou, and there's a lot of bodies of water here.
Yeah, but it says it can only teleport 5 people and himself, so it wouldn't exactly work in big groups.
He can regain the ability after meditating for an hour.
Yeah, so what he would do is teleport 5 people and him, take a rest, teleport back, take another rest, and teleport the rest of us.
Take about 3 hours.
Yeah, at the very least.
It'd be a lot faster than us walking all the way there.
If you guys want to speak with him to try to change his mind, he'd appreciate it, but he doubts that he'd be able to.
I'd like to speak with him.
Go right ahead. Does anyone else want to assist?
Sure.
I'll attempt.
Right. And so this, from what I heard, so the 3 of you make your way toward the knights who are currently just readying their equipment, strapping everything onto their mounts and such, ready and performing certain rituals and rites of prayer and such. And Boam notices that your approaches and asks how they can help you.
We want to teleport.
Well, yes. I believe it would be very helpful if we can just teleport instead of walking on foot, having experienced the dangers of this place.
I understand he's under authority to not use his magic, but it would be a lot safer and a lot faster, and it would be out of this realm a lot quicker if we were to have his assistance.
He asks you what he's told you of his past, basically why he's traveling with him, why he's not allowed to cast those spells or perform those abilities.
Dobby said was that he was on probation. I do not know the reason why, but he said he has a good relationship with his patron. I don't want to intervene.
He's under probation due to him breaking an oath with a merchant caravan. He promised that he would protect them the entire way. When bandits and demon cultists, or not cultists, when bandits and demons arrived and assailed them, he ran away. His crime is not just being an oath breaker, but also a coward. As such, they can't trust him to do this, as he may just choose not to teleport or bring others with him in an attempt to escape from from justice. Just like he did with the people.
Yeah, Rosewinder puts her hands behind her back. Cowardice, desertion. I understand that completely. The fickle thing with trust is, how can you ever gain it back if you never have the opportunity to give it back?
He is given the opportunity. Normally he would just be sent to jail, but here he's currently working under them to earn his way back to civilized society.
Well, how long has he been working at it?
About 3 days.
Well, then how are you supposed to show that you have changed in the span of 2 days? This feat would massively help. This feat would massively help.
He would only allow this if after a week at most, or at least if you're traveling with him. However,
and why is that?
And
why is that? Why only a week? Why specifically a week?
Because that's how long it's supposed to take them. It was originally supposed to take them to actually, traverse around and do their rounds around the demon pits. And here, since the situation has changed, he's still not going to change it, he's not going to elongate it. So he's allowing, so he can use that, the fact that he's not extending his limitations, so to speak, as an understanding that he trusts him to a certain degree. He just doesn't trust him to not run away from his duties.
That's fair.
There's a simple solution to this. If he runs, then he's excellent. He's gone.
I do have some minor teleportation on my side as well. I can keep an eye on them.
If he's able to teleport up to 5 people, he's not going to be getting away with 5 people, even just one of us. He's not going to be able to get away with them.
Make a persuasion check, one of you, with advantage since two of you already.
You sound like you're getting further away from your mic again, Aaron.
Also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll persuasion check with advantage.
I have a
Who wants to do it? I have a 16.
Thank you, you're the highest.
Yeah, you have the highest. I have an 11. But I have second. I have lucky. So it's up to you.
Sure.
I'll roll it.
I'll give you guidance,
I can
actually.
always
I'll just give you guidance.
Alright.
Give you guidance.
add guidance.
I don't know
Add
if
guidance.
but you know.
Say 30. He sort of exhales a bit. He will, on the condition that one of his men be one of the people who teleport with the first group. With each group, rather. At least one. No, so that way he's already informed his men of, well, assuming that has some of this informed the rest of the party of the whole cover story.
All of that. They want us to have cover stories so that people don't freak out about us existing.
Yeah. Everyone except for Rahamid, Alistair, and Moose, and Solvis and Zareth are simply hornless tiefling. However,
yes.
Alistair, Moose, houseless, and Solithus and Xeris are a pair of banished and wingless Abishai.
I mean, there's blue skin tieflings.
Yeah, exactly. You just be hornless. It's not an uncommon occurrence.
We're definitely not tieflings.
Yeah. I don't know if you keep adjusting yourself there, Andy, but you keep getting muffled every now and then.
Sorry. Let me just... Is this better?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
And Rahamid's cover story will be that he is a dog that was heavily mutated and experimented on, has been gained sentience and power.
An awakened canine.
An awakened mutated canine. Without the spikes, obviously. Ergo, the whole mutation part.
What's my cover story?
Your hornless tiefling.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right. So, whom among you would which of you got? How many of you got? Or which of you guys would like to go through the first batch?
I'll go through the first batch.
I'll go.
I'll stay here because of the thing.
What's your saying?
Literally was about to say the same thing, I guess.
Moose and Alistair will go then. So that's 2, 4.
I get one of the
That's 5. They're going to send Oriax. No, in addition to Oriax, they're going to be sending Shax with you guys.
Alright.
As Oriax performs the ability, you notice as tendrils begin to wax, just sort of slowly and indistinct and individually writhe and rise out of the water of the bayou. As he utters the incantations with far more fervor and far more zeal, you notice as the tentacles begin to wave and writhe before latching onto each of you and pulling you under. If you're familiar with the whole Star Trek, teleportation, or not teleportation's wormhole thing, basically that. As you all reappear in a courtyard of sorts, where you see a good number of tiefling, basically all tieflings, villagers, currently just staring in shock and confusion as to what the hell just happened. And which, Shock's just, as he's getting his bearings, it's all right. This is official church business. don't mind us. As now passes. Let's see.
Getting muffled there again, Andy.
Sorry. As an hour passes, let's see here. He teleports again back, assumedly. And on your guys' end, solve this. Xeris.
Yep.
And Muhammad, you all see him reappear from a single tendril as he lands, like sort of not on his prone, but he just like sort of stumbles a bit as he's brought back.
An excellent display. Cough up.
He sort of like smacks his chest a little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the horses, I take it we're coming in the last batch, yes? To which the captain said, yes. They'll be joining us in the last. I'll be joining them last. And eventually that passes. And Balon.
Muffled again.
And eventually Balon reapproaches you, Salthus. And asks you if. Yeah, he asks you if. He tells you that it seems that your trust in him for the time being is correct. That for the time being, you can trust him to not run away like the oathbreaker coward he is.
I don't see why he wouldn't know. So.
He could have easily escaped.
He could.
Opponent.
But why would he?
Exactly. He mentions that Oryx has been quiet about the whole situation as to why he was thrown in, charged with desertion and cowardice and oath breaking. So, especially with him, but he's wondering if maybe you or one of your allies can coax it out of him, because he doesn't necessarily know the details of what happened that day.
Yes. No.
Because from his perspective, he just seems like some lost kid.
Well, there's at least someone in the party who knows the feeling.
Yeah. As an hour passes, right. Rahamid, Solithus, and Xeris, accompanied by Nurgle and a singular horse, are teleported. Same case, shortly enough, and after 2 hours, for the people back in Turvanel's Folly, they appear. Just out of roughly the same location. He takes another hour to rest, or to recuperate his ability, and he teleports back.
I have a pizza slice.
Congratulations. Is it pepperoni or?
It is good old frozen pepperoni.
Nice.
He eventually 2 hours pass. Then 3 hours. And then 4 hours as Shax and Nurgle sort of ask you guys is this normally how, because the captain didn't really tell them all that much about the whole thing with Oryx. So they're wondering if this is how long it takes for him, or do you think something went wrong? Because they
Something might have gone wrong. One moment. I'm going to go ahead and message the captain.
They're sending?
Yeah. Well, for one, let's see if I keep it. Let's get it.
Same fine. So you don't need a roll. Oh yeah, right. So 5, you keep your spell slot, and what do you say?
I'm sending it to the captain. What's the current situation? He should have arrived to you and then back to here by now.
A moment passes and you hear a grunt. Sinkers! 1 moment! As you hear, come on now! As the message ends.
Did you say seekers?
Sinkers. Oh dear.
What?
Give me a moment.
Sure.
Sinkers.
Sinkers. I see.
Yeah. As a few moments pass, and eventually, 1 minute passes. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hello, welcome back, Lazarus.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to address the other two that are here. Sink is apparently what those are currently troubling him.
Oh, no. That's Northern sex is sort of like, just have a good old-fashioned, universal shit face. Sinkers, are you sure they said sinkers? Shucks asks.
I'm fairly certain he said sinkers. I can assume that they drag you underwater and drown you. It sounds, bad.
They are women, they are evil spirits who take the guise of women, and either through charm or through fear, they force you under and drown you to death to create another sinker.
Oh, good.
A moment passes as you hear, this time, a tendril tosses onto before you. Well, all 4 horses, Balam and Oriax. As Oriax seems relatively fine, but Balam is just coughing out water. Oriax, oh come on now, it wasn't that difficult, it wasn't that hard. He said, it was. Underwater, I know your patron gives you the ability to breathe under it. But I don't have such a blessing.
You're alive! Excellent.
Yes, Oriax says, despite welcome back. Oriax says, despite Balam's thoughts, I'm not going to run away when sinkers are involved. They're easier for me to handle. Since he pulls back at one of the scarves, not scarf, the chainmail scarf around his neck, revealing a set of gills. My patron granted me this first.
Interesting.
And I can swim and breathe and speak underwater just fine, so. It says, yes, good for you. You made a deal with the great blue one.
A great one?
As he sort of struggles to get up, since he's, essentially drenched.
Huh, what is the being you made a pact with again?
The entity itself is known known commonly as the Big Blue. However, my understanding is that the power that he has granted to me is known as is often referred to by some as the Fathomless. Being said, he sort of pats very heavily pats his back, pats the captain's back. Despite what people claim of me, I am not a coward. And he says, and if you're not, then you should tell me. And he says, to which he responds, you wouldn't even believe me if I told you. Oh right, I almost forgot. Yes, I completely forgot. Yeah, you're yeah.
I don't know why I'm not dragging it, but it's putting it on the map later.
I deleted it, don't worry.
Okay.
Sasha would be joining in the second batch, so minus one of the horses. So, so actually, no, it would have made sense. So there's not much of a change. But Sasha sort of chimes, hello, welcome back. So Sasha chimes in and says, yes, seems like a familiar story, no? To you, Captain Rosewinter.
Once it doesn't matter who you are. Once you're a deserter, you'll always be labeled as a deserter, even if you think you've proven yourself 3 times over. I've seen it happen all too before.
Yeah. But it reminds me of something. I don't know what, but I'm sure my memories will come back regarding it later. Still, the whole thing with what are your thoughts on the whole insect thing? And feeling pain, tasting agony? That's certainly odd, no?
It's a little morbid.
Well, it was an understatement.
Definitely an understatement. There's no doubt it is inhumane, but as long as a person can control themselves and not go headfirst into pleasure, take it like a drink or personal relation.
But a drink doesn't require the consumption of a living creature. I enjoy eating the odd, maybe a fruit. I enjoy eating the odd fruit when it's, not dried. But it doesn't make me a monster. Though, drinkable, that's a completely different story.
A monster is subjective. What's monstrous to the fly is normal for the spider. Just because we see it as one thing doesn't mean someone else can. We all have actions and ripples, and it's harder for me to put in words. But
it's fine. I get it. Well, what do you think? What's the whole houseless thing? I understand it. I think maybe it's like a family thing. Last names.
I think
I
it's
don't
like.
know.
I think it's like the like certain races where a house is a status. To be houseless is to be without class.
Maybe. Still, maybe we should. Maybe we should ask later. Maybe we should ask. You should ask later.
I nod my head. Perhaps.
Right. And that being said, as time goes on, his bruises are tended to. He Captain sort of tells tells the people, everything's fine. Slight in meeting with sinkers, but this houseless man or those who are, in case of any guard, when the guards come in, he explains, these houseless and some case hornless people are. Well, they're currently, we found them while traveling the road, and we decided to escort them here since it's safer. Those reptilian fellows are a banished and wingless Abishai. They, keep an eye on them, but they don't appear to be hostile. They actually appear to be benevolent, if anything, which, while odd, is certainly going to be a nice change of pace. The odd furred man is, according to the just sort of one of the houseless, is apparently some sort of mutated dog, likely from some lizard and due to the experiments has been granted, well, sentient thought, and of course, as they'll eventually see, certain magical abilities. So treat them with basically treats them. Don't worry too much about them. If you want to keep an eye on them, it's unnecessary. From his perspective, as they had plenty of times to kill them. You had plenty of times to kill them, but you refused to. So clearly, Ragathiel is guiding your hands. As the guards sort of nod along, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. They leave you all be, as Captain says. Right. Welcome to Turbanel's Folly. Do you want me to give you all the tour, or?
I think a tour would be recommended.
Very well. Let's show you to where you like, or if you'd wish, we'll give free housing at Church of Regathiel. It's more of a bunk. They're more of it's not bunkers. It's more of a guardhouse than anything else. So but it's safe bedding, and they'll offer food and the such. As you make your way there, it appears to be some sort of, like you mentioned, a guardhouse. But as you enter in, you see several pews with the religious iconography everywhere, and hanging from one of the or sort of displayed on this massive immaculate painting. You see this. One moment. I just need to make it public. You'll notice it available to you above. And as you see this large portrait sort of in the very front. As Mr. Balam, Balam Samal explains that is a depiction of Ragathia, the only known to be true depiction of him. I take it you have depictions of your deities as well.
It really depends from deity to deity.
There's some that don't really like to be depicted. Some relish it.
Like the illusion, like the illusion of a sort. God, that's terrifying. What God would ever want to not be known, known to be by their followers.
It all depends on the temperament, the mood. If they want, if they want to be seen on that. Mostly gods of secrecy would rather not be seen.
God of secrecy sounds like a headache for my job.
Oh, believe you me, it's a headache for more than just your job.
As long it's a headache for everyone who doesn't follow said and deities such as Mask or who have you.
There's a god that literally goes by the name of Mask.
Yes,
Yes.
does.
You will never guess what his icon is.
I perish the thought of even considering to know his iconography.
Yes. Funny story about that, actually. I had another group once that was actually chasing some of his followers. Of course, that didn't go well.
Of course not, they're followers of Mask.
Yeah.
My apologies. On such an occasion, I did not wish to bring up such unpleasant memories.
Oh, it wasn't the followers themselves that ended up, well, messing up my day. No, it was something far worse. Yeah. So, that's fun.
Nevertheless, my apologies for bringing up any sort of terrible memories.
I wouldn't say that you brought up the memories themselves, more of just the remembrance that, oh right, that actually happened. I remember very little of the incident, as battle trance can be a dangerous thing.
I can imagine we have several people like that in the local guard.
Ah, yeah, that'd do it.
Trans their innate diabolical magics to something far less restrained into their battle trance.
I can get caught up.
They refer to themselves as wild magic barbarians.
What? Wild magic barbarians?
Yes,
It sounds wildly and excellent.
it is when you're not on the receiving end.
I mean, I've heard everyone in that mother have heard of wild magic sorcerers, but barbarians?
I thought so too, but they're just local enough. Local tribes send in theirs to serve under the king, and the king is not one to pass off any of those sort of blessed warriors, or cursed, depending on which part of the receiving end you are. Nevertheless,
That does bring up a very valid question, though. What kind of magical folk do you have here?
we have those who study magic. They tend to keep their knowledge of spells stored in some sort of in reliquaries, such as books, or in some cases, all cases.
We call we're from we call them wizards.
Oh, so it's the same.
Really?
Yes.
Branded mages and all that.
So the most common, of course, are those with innate who are able to harness their innate magics.
Sorcerers.
The most common you can find are sorcerers.
Mm-hmm.
There are those who make pacts and deals with certain entities.
Yes.
Warlocks, as we both call them. Those who harness the spirits of the land themselves to protect it. Druids.
Oh, yeah, that's the same as well.
Druids that bring use. And of course, those who channel the divine through the worship and ritual of a specific deity. Paladins and clerics.
Very interesting. We call them the same thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, translated from journal and all that, but yeah.
Bit of a long shot, but what about would you happen to know any? Would you happen to have anything called war mages here?
war mage, like a mage who specializes in combat. I'm sure there are many types of
A mass-produced sort of mage, basically. Meant for combat, yes.
sorcerers, I suppose.
So no.
Sorcerers. I was thinking more the aspect of a sorcerer who can only really cast spells such as prestidigitation or the like.
Those are generally the more young ones, and they generally grow out of it and develop their own arcane abilities.
I get the feeling you don't. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Maybe it's a specialized thing from where you're from.
It is. Well, yes, but no. It is.
There are
It's wizards on a mass scale.
There's an entire huge school dedicated to pumping out these student mercenaries.
indeed. And I asked because my brother and I are two such students.
Are they anything like our keepers?
Well,
Keepers?
Yeah. Well, here we have something similar, but noticeably different. Much like with warlocks, we have sort of subsect that train with them, except they bump themselves to a specific, much weaker entity that they just summon on occasion. They're granted a limited form of magic, but still quite useful.
It sounds
We don't have
similar.
it here.
Sounds similar to something I do know.
It's similar enough that
you know.
We also have a. Oh god, how do I put this without freaking anyone out? Because it generally freaks people out. We have a sort of. Whenever any of Infernal lineage is cursed, or is born cursed, sometimes it results in them becoming what is commonly referred to as a witch, or in some cases, accursed. Well, there's a third kind. There's a third kind here. I don't know if you have them. They undergo. They're able to, if they harness the curse in a specific way, they're able to harness it to be able to allow them to change their form in combat. It is at most times very horrifying for most people. Sometimes it is. Sometimes the curse is aberrant. Okay. Sometimes the curse is aberrant in nature. Sometimes it's monstrous. Sometimes it's amorphous, like a slime.
That.
As such, they're able to sort of incorporate the nature pressures into themselves.
Fancy. So, what the fuck roll would it be to determine if there was anything like what he's describing?
Arcana with disadvantage.
Very good.
Very, very French. He'll give you the name. They go by many names themselves, but the most common by most people are strangers. 22. You remember, like, small cults of those? They're neither witches nor accursed. Sort of, it's very odd sort of cursed magic that they have. And since they themselves are unable to actually cast spells unless. But you've vaguely heard of them. They're not all that common, though. They're like 1 in 1,000. Because, why would you ever want to go that way when you could just cast spells? You're able to actually make a living and all that.
Well, we do have something similar to that, although it's a 1 in 1,000 thing.
Though some of them, so there are some that are far just as common as your wizards, I suppose. They're able to utter phrases that are able to alter and bend reality. itself. Not like a spell, but the thing is, all they need to do is speak. They do not need materials or anything of the sort.
True Namer. I actually learned a few from a True Namer a little while ago.
It's interesting. They're relatively common here. Tell me, do you have them in... Are they relatively common in your home?
They're more on the rarer side. Most people aren't interested in learning the language of creation.
Odd. Since since magic itself, or at least the act of casting it, is, well, a diluted form of true naming.
Frankly, I'm not even sure if they know what true naming is. But most people know what true naming is.
They do not know what they are missing. Nevertheless, he just shows you to the barracks. This is where, if you'd like, you can sleep. Though there are some inns and that offer much more luxurious residences. What form of currency do you use?
Gold, silver, platinum.
Coins.
Coins.
Coinage. We abandoned that years ago. We deal with paper currency. Bits.
Huh.
I don't see why I would want to do that. There's just no material worth.
Same with gold. I mean, gold is relatively common. Here,
Is paper not?
But same with paper. It's more the agreed upon value of it.
There's no current. There's nothing backing it. It's just as good as people say it. At least,
Yes.
at least with gold and platinum, there's a real. There's something.
Value. In its
Find gold traders and silver traders who can give you paperbacks, but generally the reason why is because, because gold and silver are so common, and our abilities to mint coinage is... it's not the best. It's easier to counterfeit it, which is why, after a few years, you want to say 20 or so years ago, when we invented the printing press, we came up with an entirely different solution. We put layers and layers of paper between. We compress it, each one with a specific ink in it. When it's in the pattern and it's perfectly set, it is then used as currency in exchange for goods.
Print. Rosewind just looks completely like blue screen dumbfounded.
There's is kind of just thinking, because here's the thing, he wants to dispute it, but kind of makes sense to him.
Yeah.
I mean, gold is also only as valuable as the person whoever is determining said value.
Like silver, they agree it's very valuable, especially when it comes to fighting demons, but it's so heavily used in weapons that people rarely want to, aside from mercenaries and such, people rarely deal with it. Copper is often used by mages, has been transferred to mages, so unless you want to learn magic, then copper doesn't have as much value.
Shit.
Is that? I'm entirely curious about this printing press you mentioned.
You've heard of it on your end. It has been invented.
It's been invented? Has the printing press been invented in our world?
Yes, it has.
Isn't it just really rare?
It's not that it's really rare, it's just that it's restricted to important groups like journal, like a newspaper for newspaper companies, and publishers and things like that.
We have, then retracting, we have a printing press, but we still use metal currency.
It seems a bit odd, but I'm sure maybe you have different ways of ensuring that counterfeiters aren't able to fake it.
I mean, counterfeit. Did they just not use gold?
Sorry, what?
Another counterfeit, did they not use gold and use some other similar looking material?
As official coinage. With marks and such.
Yeah, there's ridges and a specific mark. That.
Yeah, also, it's also a fact that they use a specific kind of paper too. Like, if you. Like, certain specific type of paper and ink.
Actually, in reality, it's not really. It's less of a paper and more of a fabric. It's just that people just generally call it paperbacks because they're common people associate with. It's easier to remember than clothbacks. It also rolls off the tongue much more easily. Paperbacks.
Definitely something to think about.
That being said, if you wish to procure any goods and services, it makes sense that some of you don't have paperbacks. I mean, traversing through here, they would have gotten wet or heavily destroyed when you're or burned in the case of the demons up north. Though, I will say, we do have some assignments if you wish to earn some. Though I would recommend that you run the assignments past us. There's a quest board in the near the main hall. Just so that, again, run it past us, so that way you won't give it a foul contract that will result in you not receiving proper payment. Additionally, since you're looking for something, maybe it's a good place to start. People don't just leave assignments there, they also put notices for like missing items or questions regarding odd happenings. Since what only lasts so long, the written word is far more useful for recording such events.
Well, I'd see that the only reason why we would need to do quests in your form of currency is if we wanted to earn a way to make it so we need like an item of such so it allows us to cross level like the lava pits that you have around these. But for now we're probably
You can just repeat for those pits. People generally understand what they're called, what you mean.
Yeah. Well, like the lava pools or the magma, whatever you wanna call it.
That being said, I recommend if you plan on staying nearby, avoid the most merchant contracts. It's usually escorting assignments. And I think it's quite universal, escorting quests are quite tedious.
Yes.
They never pay enough, and the person escorting, your task of escorting is usually a huge nuisance.
Oh God, the merchant class would have words with you, but I generally agree. And yes, some of them are quite capable of holding their own, and some of them are actually pleasant, but en masse, they're quite vile people.
Oh, tell me about it.
We use the currency aside from paperbacks. The currency itself is called apples. Let me just type it out.
Apple.
Apples. The symbol he pulls a single bill of paper. It appears to have the symbol of the king of the a very noble, tiefling wearing full plate and a beard, sort of standing at attention with a blade pointed downwards, and with wings at his, just splaying out his back, and around him some sort of golden halo. His horns are sort of appear to grow out from it, like above his eyebrows, sort of wrap around the side of his head, and eventually curve upwards to a point. Oh, and that is our king. This is when he was much younger, and it's certainly a far more kind interpretation of him. Though he's lost an eye as of recent, or not recent, but about 10 or so years ago. Essentially, give me a moment. So, here's the conversion rate of currency. If you want like a mental way of tracking it, I'm gonna post it in the Friday group chat and pin it. Oh wait, wrong one. And there. And pen. There we go. Taking some time. There we go. So you got it. If you want, you can probably exchange them out for something, but platinum, especially now, barely holds anything. It's a relatively useless metal, and not even nobles use it. Mostly use it as gods. What was it? For mirrors and the such. But yes.
I mean, it's actually worth less than what you mentioned above. Like, is it still worth the same as what you came across?
But if he does explain that if you want, you can probably find a noble passing by who needs some platinum for, in case, because due to it being very often used in magic, they often break very frequently. So platinum it itself does not have much value to normal people, but to nobles, they're willing to pay a high price for it. So.
Yo.
Alright, regardless,
Again, copper's way too very easy to find, so wizards or mages in general just pay a low price for it, but it still has some value.
Yeah.
Most valuable, even to the common folk, are actually electrum, because it looks pretty. It's used in a lot of jewelry and rings, but aside from that, paperbacks are far more reliable to the common folk.
Alright, so trying to think now. Like, now we're in that town of, like, what was the other reason why we came here? Not only to just see the food, but, like, I think we were going to talk to somebody, right?
Yes.
I got so sidetracked that my brain just kind of, like, fucking...
Yeah, you're fine. I think I almost did too before you brought it up. Yes. He explains that, now, in regards to what you're looking for, what was it again? Your friend Alistair mentioned is some sort of key artifact?
Well, essentially explain what it would look like, but we're not going to explain the functionality because we were told to keep that private.
Yeah. Let's see here. So narrows his eyes, thinking for a moment. Wait a moment. One moment. Pardon me. Shax! Hey, do you remember that report a few months ago? To which Shax was currently sort of wiping down his armor in one of the bunks. Sort of looks up and says, "Yeah, I remember. They was what of it? What did it look like again?" And he basically describes the item. Yes, that Thank you for. I just need to know for certain. He sort of nods along and gets back to cleaning his armor. Yes. That may prove a bit difficult.
Why?
How do I put this? The iridescent one made a deal with. He pulls out his map. He's made a deal with the devils of this pit. He is currently under their protection. The demons of the Ugoloths have been merciless in hunting him down. It's odd that he'd ever even consider making dealings with them, but if he's really even remotely willing to accept their terms, then things must truly be dire. How to explain this? Do you have the dragons of your land? Are they capable of bending light to their will and use it offensively? Arcana check. Arcana check.
Also, I think Yang fell asleep there.
I think so. Let's see here. 32. You vaguely remember those sort of something like that. Those are mythological in nature of Northern Resh. Here's the do you want to? You remember actually in sort of image and common mythology of them. Whites, sort of mostly white with patches of blue stripes and blue scales, that sort of patterned to a stripe, and crimson glowing, almost biofluorescent wings. Here's an image. I'll put an image of one right here. They're actually referred to as white dragons.
As what?
Those are called light dragons, but those are just myths. They don't actually exist. Those are like
allegedly
those are like
allegedly.
They're like slime dragons. Slime dragons are just they don't. Those are like slimes can take many forms, but not the form of a dragon.
Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude.
Yeah. So, let me guess, they made a deal with them involving this artifact we described, like involving this key that we.
They were last seen carrying one as if their life depended on it to this mound.
Okay. So that's
With
field, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Though noticeably less hot as to attract people. Essentially, the devils of that mound, they're actually somewhat friendly. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I'm having trouble hearing you over this occasional story.
Yeah. It's not Yang. That's Duke. That's Duke. It's not Yang.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's Duke. Server mute Duke. My apologies.
He must have fucking fell asleep.
He just fucking died all of a sudden. You do notice. Actually, he pulls out his map. And again, so do you say anything about that? Like, they don't actually exist according to people. They're like some mythological creature. Like slime dragons.
Slime dragons apparently don't exist. Light dragons apparently don't exist either, as this is a part of myth where we're from.
Oh, well. Here.
There are myths about them.
Yes. From our understanding, light dragons are children of Feronia, the Fertile Flames. Mm-hmm. She granted those cult of worshippers, draconic worshippers of hers, a blessing. to always carry a fertile flame within them that lets out a glow so beautiful it would purify anyone's soul. I suppose I don't know what the technical term would be, but I'm only a soldier. But I believe that is where you'll find him. He is often referred to as the iridescent one. He's actually the oldest of them all, of all the light dragons.
The iridescent one.
I think he's about gods. If the stories are to be believed, he's about 7,500 years old. Which...
That is old.
It's all this. That is very old. That is older than most recorded ancient dragons. Yeah, that is older than most recorded ancient dragons of Pathros. We'll just set up a token.
Oh, it would be quite holy shit. It would be quite interesting to meet this dude.
Yeah, but essentially we're gonna have to go there.
Yes. Well, I imagine you'll need. I apologize, but we really can't help out as much as we want. How do I put this?
Another basic information.
The demonic. It's currently the violent season for the demons. As such, me and my men, as well as several others, are on patrol duty. So, if you have any way of traversing there, well, by all means, but you also need to prepare. His lands are foreign, so I do not know if anything is as useful as one would hope. I hope that it is, but you may need to prepare yourself with the tools of this land.
Yes. Magic seems to still be as useful.
If you wish, since I can confirm that Auriax can be trusted, you can Auriax may travel with you if you so desire, as your guide, so to speak. Since he's of this land, despite being houseless, he is of this land. Just know he will be traveling with you. Unlike us, he has no reason to follow your directions to the T. That being said, if he causes you trouble, please do bring that up to the proper authorities, that being I or any other men of Ragathiel.
Yes, of course.
So, again, you're free to sleep and stay here as long as you'd like. If you wish to make your way over to there, I highly recommend that you find a charter boat and such. But I also recommend you also familiarize yourself further with the land, lest it be too unpleasant for you all. Do you have any questions of the sort? Anything regarding this land in particular, or any sort of behavior? No. Either ask Oryx or any of my men, and we'll gladly answer. Again, don't inform anyone else that you're not of this world, I suppose.
Of course.
And we'll...
People who want to dissect and yada yada.
Yes. Not the social kind, but anyways. Welcome to the Burning Bayou. If you'll excuse me, I have to go get my equipment cleaned. I think I have some earthworms in my shoulder plate. It sort of shifts it. As with that, you are now completely free to travel and decide what you would like to do next.
How get across water? They have boat?
This is a fishing village, or fishing city, yeah.
So probably a ferry.
Yeah, but my other concern is that even if it's like a cooler version of lava, it's still gonna be lava.
Essentially, he would mention there are some paths you could take guarded by devils that are walkable. Basically, they're just solid.
I'd rather ask to see if they have any useful items or magical items that would allow us to traverse lava without problem.
The Knights of Regathiel do, though they really do need it in order to keep the demons up north at bay.
Well, what could we do to earn our own pair?
To earn your own pair, well, aside from joining the church and agreeing to assist with killing some demons up north, you could probably find a mage who is willing to sell it, who's working up the commission who can make it for you.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be expensive.
Yes, and also would require paperbacks.
Yeah.
What's the devil's
Alright, so
things for going across the paths they have?
The initial step into it is completely free. They don't offer anything else. They do, ask if you would like some power or assistance in terms of like advice. They're always for them because they are infernal blooded. They're generally treated much nicer.
So it's just temptation that they do. Okay.
More real temptation. It's like that grandma who, despite knowing that you are on a diet, is continuously offering you like really fatty foods like.
So are they more forceful about it, or are they? If you say no, will they leave you alone?
They'll leave you alone, though. They're not sure how they will respond to some of you.
Okay. So I'll privately discuss with the people. Like, honestly, we should try to see what we can do about probably joining, like helping out in the crusade against the demons, because I'm thinking they're the source of the noise that's causing the disturbance for the relative next door neighbor of this realm.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's a good hint because she said it was recent when this noise started happening, right? Relatively.
But you also got that key artifact you need to get from that dragon.
It is possible.
Yeah, but either way, we're probably going to have to do that at some point. It'd be ideal if we... Well, yeah, water rock could be good crossing, rivers, but not lava.
Yeah, we're not crossing lava with that. That's
stupid. No offense, it's just like...
He also, before he forgets, he also mentions that there are a faction of mercenary fiends to the south, east of the village. Though, if someone else offers to pay more, they are no contractual obligation to keep you alive.
Yugoloths.
Basically, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so...
Yugoloths, devils, demons.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to deal with the demons that are causing the noise at some point anyways. It'd be... I think the ideal thing to do would be offer to help out in exchange for getting a pair of the boots and help us with the thing. Then when we come back, we can see if we can get the key, because essentially we'll get what we need, so we can not have to worry about traversing from here without issue.
Well, we should be fine. The devils won't be aggressive.
They will
probably.
The only time they'll actually be aggressive is if either A, you attack any tieflings.
That's not aggressive. That's just self-defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think? We should try to get the key first. What do you think that's gonna happen if we don't get the key immediately? That's my solid question here.
I would just say
I'm not saying for any particular order here.
He has been there. Here's the thing: the Light Dragon has been there for about a year. He's very clearly not moving anywhere else. So you have time. I'll just say he won't move. It's not all that time sensitive. It's only as time sensitive as you feel comfortable with.
Though also, just the sooner we get it, the better.
Yeah.
That too.
The sooner we get it, the sooner we have a means of getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. We get it. We can just decide it's gone if we ever need to.
Well, Well, that's the thing. We were told to get we need to get the key in order to help out with the main quest. But
Yes.
love game, if you ignore the side quest, it's gonna cause a relapse of
I'm not saying we ignore the side quest.
Demons. Either that, or let the knights just take care of the demons at their own pace.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the crazy woman will handle that well. Oh yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. It's just that
I've never said not to do the side quest.
Well, no,
We're gonna do the side quest.
I didn't say you, Volkma. I was pointing this towards Andy. Don't take this personally. I'm not saying that you said this. I'm pointing this at Andy. Like that was my implication. I'm sorry if you misunderstood. But
you're probably just gonna get because it should, unless the devils just get fucked somehow.
Unless the devils just get fucked, they'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
That place is, again, pretty large fortifications with a set up by not only tieflings that live there, but also devils. It'd have to be like some Torasque level threat.
Okay, so
the dragon? I guess he's super peaceful.
Yeah, he's relatively peaceful. He's just living there.
Okay, so if we can manage to somehow have the dragon aid us possibly, I could see that we can do the keep first, and then see if we can get the dragon to help us deal with the demons that are causing all the noise.
Actually, there are some. He did mention there are some jobs as well.
Yeah,
getting to one would award you some more knowledge at this place, and you might get an easier way to get a. You might, who knows, or maybe you might find somebody who's like a fisherman who needs assistance.
Okay. Yeah. As for crossing the water, that's not a problem. But as a personal thing I do not know how, this place seems like a cool place to explore, but honestly, with how little Raham has been integrating with the group, and it's like how much I've not been all I've been doing is just pretty much death warding. It's like I kind of want to get it back to playing Ratchet. I don't want to spend any longer here than I actually have to. If it happens, it happens. Yes. But I'd rather not.
We do this first because this could give us some kind of boon to help with this stuff up here. And as far as we know, this stuff isn't that dangerous. It's maybe crossing like this stuff here.
Yeah.
But this stuff shouldn't be a danger. Shouldn't.
Yeah.
This stuff up here is absolutely a danger to demons.
Yeah, so, yeah, with the demons and it being like actual active lava or magma or whatever you want to call it.
Bad ship.
Yeah, bad.
That works.
Yeah, you're good.
Big hot floor.
Hot floor.
But yeah. Personally, I would agree with you. Probably get the key first, see if we could convince the dragon to maybe help aid us with this little problem, and maybe with it being a dragon, we are blunt to explain if they're more accepting and open, that we can explain that we are from another world and that we are here because you essentially have a otherworldly next door neighbor that actually is hearing all the noise.
Yeah.
And we were kind of sent here to help stop that noise.
Additionally, though, the main problem will be, sure you can cast Water Walk.
Yeah, Water Walk's it lasts for an hour.
At most,
I guess it could get us across the water.
Yeah, it will. It'll take several recastings and might slow you down a good bit. It's generally safe if you go by boat.
Here's the thing, right? I have the Cloak of the Manta Ray.
Yeah, he doesn't need a boat.
I don't need a boat.
We're worrying about the rest of the party, not us two that can swim.
Yeah. Not to mention,
okay, 3.
I could literally just be like, I hit the bottom of the freaking river and I just keep walking.
Fair point. So that makes 3.
Well, 4. The rest of Genasi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ideally would
you also have
get a boat first, but if
the other 3 though.
Additionally, you have Moose and Owl to keep in mind.
Yeah. So
Moose, John, and Alistair can't just do that.
Yeah. So
I guess I was trying to just
our options either is to see if someone give us a ride in exchange for doing a quest for them, or just do enough quests where we can just be like, we rent out the boat.
Hold to go there, yeah.
Ideally, it would be like getting a quest that would get us across the river anyways, and then be like, get a ride back after we're done.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might use up some of my gold on maybe getting some of it exchanged, just so we can have some for the time being in case we end up staying here longer than needed for whatever reason.
I particularly don't need to spend my gold nor platinum on anything. I have like 28 gold and then like 9 platinum. I'm really not going to spend anything. If I can exchange the stuff, essentially you can use that, so you don't have to like exchange yours, because I'm not really going to buy anything.
Here's the thing, right? I've got like 300 gold.
But
I really like buy spells about.
The reason why I'm offering instead of you is because at least it's really cheap to just rent a boat, we can it'll be easier to go off of me, because then because with Rom being a temporary character, you won't have to be like, oh, it's a permanent lost cash. It's like, oh, it's only a temporary character. Yeah, not big deal.
Whatever.
But yeah, ideally,
Actually, could be stuck on some like material components and such.
Rosewood could also use to pay for it, but unfortunately, Duke's a Jew.
But allow me to suggest to Duke the idea. Yes.
Sleep.
One moment.
This is why it's important to get people's phone calls, so you can freaking cell phones, so you can be like, oh, you fell asleep here, let me fix it. Call your ass up.
Okay, I know.
I mean, even if he has earbuds in, because if he does, then but I also don't want to blow out his ears.
Yeah. But
I'd rather him miss the session than blow out his fucking eardrums.
Yeah.
But alright, so we can ask how much would it cost to just rent a boat in their currency really quick, and then work from there, seeing if we just want to do like a quest that'll get us across, or if we can afford to rent
I've got enough gold to be able to afford it, then fuck it.
Yeah, well, if they already, the group that brought us here already left, yeah, we could just ask around how much, see if we can look around or ask around if there's anyone that would be willing to rent a boat for our group.
I'd say investigation check with someone, but you have to go in pairs with somebody who knows Infernal.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got to comprehend languages and.
You can bring Moose with you as an option.
Yeah. Alternatively, I'd have to wait for a long rest to be able to change out one of my spells, so I can just cast tongues. Tongues should be able to be a ritual.
No.
It would be nice.
I see your feeling for it, but nothing said. So, yes. So, investigation check and inform, and then you can inform me if we're going in with someone else.
Investigation? Okay, let me just pop. That's the wrong button.
Cover story is that two people in your party are devils, rogue devils.
Yes,
devils, so.
We know the cover story.
Yeah, we're not.
Add 20 to that. Like something roll intimidation instead of investigation.
Why did I choose proficiency and investigation if you're gonna have a fucking ridiculous plot?
I already had it. I don't know what you're on about. I've had it the entire time.
Yeah, I'm also fucking completely blind on it for whatever reason when I was making my character.
And there's checks that I don't make too. It's not always me checking.
Yeah.
Where it has to be just you.
That makes sense.
Well.
So.
I'm not implying it always have to be just me. I'm just saying it's like, man, ridiculous.
Hey. So that being said, so with the modified. Well, with that, you're able to discern that they need that for the travel, they need 500 alps.
That's 5 plat.
Yeah. Which
That's 5 plat.
which
But it's
can easily do without fucking breaking.
It's 500. It's 500 alps per person though.
Per price, that's still pretty alright.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fucking money, but that's. I mean, okay, let's consider this real quick. This is a big river.
I've got 300 gold.
Well, alright, so if we're to cost us like 5 Mile River, because that's assuming that's what this is. For 500 for each per person, that's pricey. Like, I would be curious to be like, why is it so much?
Let's see. For one, it's going to be deviating from their main job, which will be, which is fishing. And two, you look like a bunch of heavily armed, very well equipped, very wealthy mercenaries. So you seem like
so because we're wealthy, I'll walk away. Fuck them.
Admittedly, I would have done the same thing. Like, oh, it's because we're wealthy. Goodbye.
I admit it because we can afford.
Can we afford it easily?
We can afford.
Yes, it's the principle. Fuck them, dude.
Well, you guys can afford it. I can't. Like, I can afford to pay for my own seat. That's about it.
I'm pretty sure we all could easily. We could absolutely easily afford it, but nah.
It's a principle and all that. Anyway, so
it's just 50 gold. Not a lot. Plus.
Alright. So, alright. The other option is we could go seeking a quest that'll get us charter across while doing a favor, essentially.
Yeah. And before I forget, here's the. I'm just gonna put him under. Where are you? Not compatriots. Hired help. Let's see, Aureax, because I have his art for this. If it will finally just decide to. Aureax, yeah. Because he is, for the time being, while you're here, he'll be acting as like your guide for things.
Oh yeah, he's the warlock, right? I was like trying to place fucking name. My brain was like,
There we go. And there we go. There's his appearance.
Alright. Is he underneath NPCs or?
Hired help.
Let's see, where is it?
Underneath Clarence. Long may he reign.
Hired help. Okay.
He's a level 14 warlock who, despite being a warlock, will only act as a support. So that's not overshadow you all, unless it's extreme circumstances. Then obviously he'll
not kill us, coward.
Well, we currently don't have any companions, is the thing.
Yeah. He's again temporary until you guys.
Yeah. Well,
either
like a temporary companion is better than no companion, at least.
Yeah, we just oblivion, like that's fine.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's one of the things we understand that, like, oh, after we're done with this place, he won't be able to join us. But it's like, hey, if we have at least someone that can get us to this place that can work as companion for now, that's good. That's really good.
For an explanation as to his whole thing, him being houseless, essentially in terms of game terms, Devil's Tongue Tiefling.
That'd do it.
Like all that.
Yeah, that'd do it.
We just teleported us across the river.
I mean, that's a solid option.
Yeah.
Thing is, he has been there, and he's never been there.
Fuck.
So it has to be. Oh, okay, so that's very specific. All right, so he has to have traveled there before.
That's fair.
Yes. He's been to this town, so that's why he was able to bring everyone there.
I would hope he has.
The problem is he's never been there. He generally stays away from those devils because they're nice.
So essentially, you only need a one-way trip because as soon as we get there, he can just be like, "Bam, us back."
Yeah, basically. The first time you make your way there, you'll be able to fast travel you back.
Yeah. So.
All right.
So we could find a quest that it's a one-way trip across the river in exchange for doing a helpful aid towards whoever the quest giver is. Or whatever.
Yeah. Other question: how like wavy is the river?
Ignore the whole thing there, but it's like it's a relatively strong stream. It's not like
Okay.
water rapids strong.
But it's a strong enough pull where you can you'd be.
You'd have to be just a strong swimmer to get through. You get some resistance, but you'll be able to safely get there. Which means that anyone with a swim speed, you can just basically just traverse it as if it's nothing.
Shit. How does water walking interact with that?
It's like it's just like think like stationary floor. That's basically it. That's how water walking would treat it as. It ignores ignores the whole flow where water pulls you. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be like one of those. God, what do you call? What the fuck were they?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Those things.
We got meeting anyway. So what are you thinking with like your water walking? You just want to like be like fuck it, just take the shortest possible route and just water walk us across.
We could just water walking. Yeah. We could generally just do that, just walk across.
The problem is the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Water walking targets a fuckload of people.
Yeah, up to 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, remember, the fucking Ferocian twins have swim speeds.
Yes.
Because, fuck the matter, right?
We're not twins.
And realistically, if we cast it on the horses and then like essentially cross like that, it'd be no issue.
I don't know if it could. Like getting across isn't an issue, but I don't know if we can do it to the Phantom Streets. Creature, never mind.
Yeah, it says
creature. It says creature!
Yo!
That's why I mentioned that. I was like, yeah.
Just don't fall off the horse. Seriously, don't.
Just don't fall off the horse, lol.
You'll have water breathing because I can do that too. You'll have water breathing, but don't.
It would be fun if you encounter something on the river because, hey. But yeah.
If we encounter something in the 2.8 miles that we're gonna cross the shortest possible path, like if we're going like across like this. Like not everything's 1-to-1, but
honestly, we could get across this in an hour, even with like if we're just taking account that this is like 5 miles. Yeah. We can get across pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of like working up. Like I don't find the problem of like doing quests to work up favors to make so we can get maybe possibly more people to help with like the demonic noise bringers, as I like to call them.
Yeah. The demon pain in the ass.
The rowdy neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like ideally, if we could manage to go over here, pretend see if we can friend the people over there to help us deal with that, and then maybe do a little side questing to see if we can get some extra people in the town to help deal with the.
We'll see. Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Also, you go off on the southeast. I mean, for the right price, they'll do anything you want.
Yeah, but that would that would mean we'd have to make sure that we pay them high enough that the demons can be like, we pay you this much. It's like that's more than what they paid us.
Well, that's assuming
too easy to turn.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it will always be an option.
Yeah.
I don't want to let options there.
Yeah, honestly, I just don't want to deal with these people because, that people over there, it's like, oh, whoever pays high enough deserves our time kind of deal. It's like,
Know their value. What's wrong with knowing your value? Appreciating.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, counter argument is that I don't like the idea that we could easily be backstabbed just because someone paid higher.
Yeah.
And that's the point of that's why I don't want to go over in this area and deal with them.
Yeah. That being said, what is the party's? So, what would you like to approach first?
Yeah, so our options is do a little side questing first and see if we can work up some favors in town, get some work up good morale with the people. Go for the key first and see if we can get befriending the light dragon over there, and then eventually dealing with the lot demons.
Yeah. So, call for the. So what is? So aside from that, do you guys want to rest in this, in the, in the Rogothiel Church house for now, or because again, you could take some quick jobs to and sleep out while doing some jobs if you want.
You know what? Something I should probably do anyway is get another, is see if I can find another fist weapon so that I can get that fucking, so that I can actually get a bit of a better a bit of a better to hit bonus, you know? Because, yeah, unfortunately, I get the feeling everything here is going to be either resistant or immune to fire damage.
Oh, I mean,
I mean,
Fiend. So yes, that'll be a safe assumption.
I mean, alternatively, if you're not thinking about just better weapon that might be cheaper or probably easier, is that you could just ask someone if they could change out the damage type of the weapon.
That is also true. You could find a sorcerer willing to do that in exchange for some paperbacks.
Yeah, but would I be able to figure out how much that sort of thing would cost?
Yeah, that's also true. You'd have to take time to see if I can find someone who can do it and get in pricing from them.
You know what? I actually would like to head out with Oriax and see if we can find somebody who can do that.
All right. So in that case, Oryx will just basically function as a translator.
All
So
right.
roll an investigation check. All right.
All right. I'm a jet towards procession that.
All right.
Because I get the feeling I'm not going to use it anywhere else.
Right 30. Right 30. So you managed to find somebody who's willing to do it. I take it you just obviously show them your weapon.
Yeah.
The weapon is very foreign to them, but the enchantment, again, still while foreign, it is doable. So let's see, how much are they going to for this? They are willing to do this for us for 1,700 opals.
All right. Let me do a little math here.
And 10 cents.
All right. Brain, oh god, I'm going to have to do a lot of math.
17 plat.
And 1 copper.
Wow, copper.
A 17, yeah.
So let's see, I've got about... how much gold was in a plat, remind me?
10 gold for 1 plat.
Alright, so I've got about 300 gold. So let's see, that'd be about 30 plat, if I'm not mistaken.
It'll be a 170 platinum. No, was it 170? Hold on.
So, yeah, 300 gold, so that'd be...
No, yeah, 170 plat. If I'm doing my mental math right.
So let's see here.
Yeah, you would have enough if you converted some of your.
You're
Yeah,
right.
if you converted some of your gold pieces, you would have enough. Yeah.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, how many would I need to convert just so I don't have to do the fucking math and kill my brain?
170 GP and 1 copper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to get it exact.
You know what? I'll convert like 72 just to have a little bit extra, you know? Because I actually don't have any copper anyway, so I'd need to do one more anyway.
I mean, that's fair. So, okay, while you're doing that, what's group thinking? You guys want to do sidecast work up town favor? You wanted to go get the key first before doing possibly that, or? Got it. Am I the only one here?
Whoop. I mean, it doesn't matter either way to me.
Okay. I was wondering if I died and someone didn't hear me. I was like, But yeah, if it personally doesn't matter, I'm thinking that it'd probably be easier if we worked up town favor by doing a couple side quests at the very least, and then going over to see if we can.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we could easily just do a couple of quick ones, you know?
Yeah, a couple of quick easy ones that maybe somewhat like a top one to earn reputation quick.
Yeah, maybe just do a couple, head down, go do what we came here for, etc.
Yeah, get the key and then do the side quest of stop that goddamn noise.
Well, I mean, that's the main reason we're here, is to stop the noise.
Yeah. Yeah, so. So, yeah. So inside quest first might be ideal because we're in town already. Might as well see if there's anything. So I guess we could do to earn some town favor quick.
Mm-hmm.
Did Anthony BRB and I just didn't hear him?
Might have.
He did.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
What?
Sorry, I was just taking care of my daughter. I mentioned it, I think.
I did. I'm
Yes.
glad I heard it. It's like fucking blanked.
It's fine. No harm, no foul.
So, if no one has real arguments against it, I think doing a couple of these side quests work up in favor as quick as we can before we try to head off for the key.
Yeah.
See if we can
It's not
yeah.
it's not uncommon for, by the way, he would have also explained, it's not uncommon for there to be a rogue or exiled devil. It happens on occasion. It's like a, I guess the only comparison in your case would be a rogue Grugak or an exile Grugak. They exist. It's just not all that common, but people know they exist.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, at the very least, we could work up a couple side quests, see if we could get some town favor, or get the town see us more in the limelight. So maybe we could ask additional assistance from the town after we see if we get assistance from the Light Dragon, and see if we can get the artifact we're looking for or key, and then see if they would help. See if the dragon would help us take care of the demons that are causing all the ruckus.
Of course.
Alright, so I guess first things first, if no one has an issue, we'll see if we can find a couple of side quests.
Alrighty then. So there are some posted on the board. Let me just currently. Oh, wrong one. There are currently 3 assignments. One of them is a uh, let's see here, need for exorcism, ancestral spirits, waking up my children. The other one is hunting. Is a hunting assignment. Essentially, they need some people to go out and hunt some. What the hell? Sorry, give me a moment. The notes for this is. This thing is being a pain. Give me just one moment. Looks like I didn't save that or the name of the creature.
What did you put your note in?
I put it in the roll 20 thing.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
I just slam online in Google Docs.
They have here. The assignment is for you to. It's for you to hunt several alligator turtles, and or to exterminate a nest of alligator turtles and find out what is essentially. Apparently, they've been particularly more active, which is generally bad for the village because that means that demons will start getting. We start focusing on where the aggression is, or where all the noise is, or an aggression, and they'll just go there. And if that happens, they'll find their way to the village, and so on and so forth. So not only is it free to hunt down and kill several dozen alligator turtles, but also check out their nests, but also to find out what is going on in regards to their sudden sudden rise in violent tendencies. And the third and final one is a message assignment. They need somebody to. Assignment requires that you go to a specific location. It goes to a specific location to deliver to a local druidic circle to essentially deliver some ingredients they've been not requisitioning. They've been paying for. They paid for, but with a rise in demonic aggression, they need somebody capable to make their way up north, to the northeast.
Alright, so the demonic possession one with the family, with the child, probably need what is it? Dispel good and evil, or at the very least, protection of good and evil to help with removing possession.
Also to put them to rest, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, like to remove them and then be able to put them to rest. With that, I can easily just do greater respite as a ritual.
Yeah.
but I don't
You
know
also
if doing Greater Respite while they're
Already
still
is.
possessed would actually work and make it so they're unpossessed.
What protection from good and evil, I
Okay.
believe.
Then I just
Check, but I think it does end if the frightened or if they're possessed that condition.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
it doesn't say anything about
No.
so Gentle Response doesn't undo possession.
No,
So
it's not.
we would need to undo possession first before I get to do Gentle Response.
Yeah. No, it's actually not ending a possession. It is just ending a haunting. Sorry, we should clarify. It's an ending haunting.
Okay. So Gentle Response would
So
be
basically, in terms of what the assignments will require of you, the first one, the one requiring the haunting, it'll just be in town.
okay.
So, you won't have to worry about travel costs or anything like that. The other one, it's like a little ways away, but it's not too far away that you can't make your way back in the same day.
Where
Depending on how
specifically
long it
on the
takes.
map is that one?
It says to speak to the person nearby, but
Okay.
its location's within 15 miles. So,
Okay. So it's not far. It's like half a day, like travel
yeah,
time.
a half day.
Yeah. Well, actually less than half because we could be traveling by steed, so less than that. Because we got faster mode of transportation, and I remember that. Um, but yeah, so the position thing could easily be done. I just need literally 2 copper pieces, and I think
The last one is like somewhere around here ish.
yeah,
It'll take you a while to get there, but you'll. I mean, you can get there, and you'll have to also have to deal with the more world encounters and such.
yeah. Honestly, we can easily do the town one now. Like I said, all I need is literally two copper pieces. I got everything else.
You have to have the rest of the party agree with you, but nevertheless, those are the assignments. So
Well, like with yeah. What are you guys thinking? Because I'm not hearing any general responses. It's all super quiet.
Uh, what are you typing?
typing down the assignments just so that way
Oh,
in case you do ask.
Yeah. Also, has Yang been talking? Because I can't hear if they are. Like, I see their blankets moving, but I don't see them.
I don't know. I can't
must
hear
be typing.
my end.
Yang.
I'm gonna have that because sometimes they might be having Discord being butt.
Yeah, that might be the case. It's been happening way too frequently.
Oh, they're away.
Oh,
Oh, they just left.
Oh, it is just. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Say, yeah. That we gotta notice that stuff immediately if someone's fucking.
So there were issues.
Papadoo.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been like that. It's like
It's been a while.
Yeah,
You know when Duke was server muted? I think it's been before that.
Yeah, I think it was because Auntie actually muted me instead of masked, and that just carried over.
Oh God, that's not something.
I think for some reason he
I'm
just
so
stayed
sorry.
enabled. For whatever reason. Even though it
For
was
some reason.
disabled or not.
Yeah. But yeah, so what I said is, I think it was me and Muhammad can like tag team on the hunting.
Yeah.
I think the message will be the easiest because we're just going over delivering something and coming back. I think the algorithms will be the hardest.
Yeah, the last question you said was really far off, right? Like.
Yeah, it's like to the northeast.
So back to where we were.
Basically.
Very fun.
Backtrack.
I mean, we can do that, but like,
Honestly, we just probably need to get those 2 quests. like we could do those 2 quests that are in a little bit of time favor and get more limelight into from the town's view of us. So that way, when we go to do the key one, we can at least have some backing up, being like, yeah, we're good people.
True. Additionally, some funding as well.
So, yeah.
Yo, is Duke still asleep?
Yeah,
I think he is. Let's see. But hold on.
He's not.
A moment. Master, are you there?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Oh shit.
Earlier,
Hear you now. Sorry, I
You just fucking fell asleep.
It's not.
I had to.
straight up fell asleep during the session. You need to fix.
When did you wake up?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Another important question. Have you been talking?
Well, for the 5 minutes or so,
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Not very long.
It's water walk.
But
I heard the missions. There's the haunting. There's in town. There's one like kind of close nearby,
yeah,
and then there's one like really far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, we're thinking to do the one in the town, the hunting first, which is in the town, and then we can do delivery of merchants. The last one is literally back to where we were, which is way out of the way.
No, the third one is the delivery one. The second one is just clearing out an alligator turtle.
Again,
I mean,
put the student is confusing because I saw 2 as being messaged, and I'm like, okay, so they were.
No, it's the 2 ones that we should have prefaced that.
Yeah.
Well,
Each of them to pay currently the standard price of 300, not 300. Yeah, 300. Excuse me, 300. It all opals.
300.
Yep, each of them 300.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's in total, not per person.
I'm sorry. The first one is 300 opals. It's just a possession, or a possession. It's a haunting.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But dangerous. It won't pay too much. Clearing out the infestation, firing out the aggression, that will pay 500 opals, and the last one will pay 1,000 opals for some reason.
Okay. Well, because
probably because it's far as fucking near demons.
yeah, near the pit.
With the delivering mention, we're definitely gonna do because that's close. But I don't feel like we need to do the far as fuck one because that'd be tracking and going out of the
alligator turtle. We don't need to do turtles.
I don't know. It might be worth it.
Honestly, we could wait and see, and like after we do these 2 quests to see if more popped up by the time we finish those 2, and then if not, we can leave it up to the group decision if you want to go all the way up here to just earn more favor, because essentially that's the idea of doing it.
I mean, like, yeah, it's 60 miles, but also we can get there in like a day.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how actually far it is. So, like, is it actually 60 miles?
It is, the exact location is unknown, but at the very least it's 60 miles.
The location's it's a delivery. Its location is unknown
until you meet up with, you actually physically meet with the person who's about to give the assignment.
Oh, okay.
So just so that way they can confirm whether or not they think you're able-bodied for this.
Yeah. But so with delivering, delivering some ingredients is the easy one because that's within 15 miles of the town.
What 15? No, that's the haunting.
Oh, okay.
Haunting's
you said one quest was within 15 miles.
Yes, that's the alligator turtle infestation.
Okay.
The hunting.
There's haunting, and delivery.
Okay.
Yes.
So the message is a far off fucking where we'd be backtracking. Okay. I thought that was the message one. That was my bad.
Yeah, it was just a simple mistake.
Alright, so the correct order would be end the hunting, deal with the alligator turtle investigation, and then by the time we get back, decide if we want to see if there's, like, if possible, if more quests popped up. If not, if you want to actually do, like, the backtracking in order to just get more limelight with the town, because it's essentially as we essentially do.
Additionally, there are some you could just interact with the townspeople and such, and ask and set yourself up to help out with some assignments. The Turtles is not in town; it's like shortly out.
And turtles are.
They're like 15. Essentially, they're within 15 miles away.
Yeah, so
They're close.
yeah, they are close, like relatively close.
Before I end up forgetting about it, one thing you do notice that's a bit odd with the village, with this village compared to most places you've ever been, is that wherever there's fire, it's always an open fire.
Fire?
Yes, they're like candles or torches, like a fireplace. It's all open fire. It's easy to step into.
Yeah, tieflings.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's like they.
Yeah.
Basically. They're literally used to just freaking lava fields. It's an open fire is not a big deal.
If they get hurt, they'll take less than 1 damage, no damage.
Well, everyone here is infernal bloodline, so everyone here is resistant to fire.
At least.
If not immune.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not immune. They're only resistant.
Well,
yeah.
I was not making any assumption that there's not the possibility that there might be some that's immune.
Oh yeah, fair.
But yeah, so that's understandable. So all right, so start off doing with the haunting. Everyone's good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Me and you should hit that.
Yeah, like I said, I just need to pick up a couple of copper pieces and see if we can waste.
And with that,
I don't have any.
I will just say this: we're gonna have to end the session there because it's going for a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
you want me to stop recording?
Oh yeah, please feel free.